One final time in the regular season, the #3 Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets take their home field at McNeese Baseball Park, looking to wrap up what has been a historic campaign, 42-8, and they're taking on the Mercer Bears, one of the teams on the bubble for the NCAA tournament. One final in-state showdown here in 2026. Alongside ACC tournament MVP Dusty Isaacs, I'm Wiley Ballard. And Dusty, when you look at a matchup like this, in-state always brings a lot of juice, and for Georgia Tech, they have been spectacular at home in particular.
Yeah, they've been really tough to beat at home, right? They put together a really strong campaign, but Mercer is a quality squad, putting together a really good year themselves, looking for an at-large bid.
14-1 in ACC play at home, and this is a Georgia Tech team that features stars up and down the lineup, but two tonight are on the doorstep of history. Let's begin first with the junior Carson Kearse. 27 doubles this year. He has matched a school record.
Yeah, this offense coming into the year, you had a really good idea of what you were getting with Drew Burris, what you were getting with Von Lackey, but what a pleasant surprise Carson Kearse is. One double shy of breaking the all-time record for the Georgia Tech program. He's been a huge piece of this offensive success this year.
And a member of his recruiting class, Drew Burris, with 57 career home runs. Dusty, the expectations could not have been higher when he arrived on campus 3 years ago, and he has delivered.
On every single one of them. Right, he's been kind of the catalyst for 3 years now, getting hot at the right time. Started off this year a little bit slow, but he's really swinging at his best when they need him to the most.
He has hit a home run in each of his last 4 games. Another home run tonight. He will be officially the home run king here at Georgia Tech. And leading off for Mercer, meanwhile, it'll be the junior transfer from Tacoma Community College, Logan Shepard. The Yellow Jackets are 30-3 this year at home. Take a look at the Mercer lineup. Chris Katz, keep an eye on him. Transfer from Wake Forest, has had a phenomenal year. You see the numbers there. OPS over 1250. And Jake Lanke making his first career start, gets a ground ball punch to the right side and past the shift. That's a leadoff single for Logan Shepard.
Now batting number 44, Chris Katz.
So Jake Lanke, redshirt sophomore from Alpharetta, Georgia, in his second year at Georgia Tech. This will be his first career start. Dusty, what are some of the nerves you feel like he might be feeling?
Yeah, I think it's important just to be, try to throw the ball the way you have all year, regardless of whether you're coming out of the pen or starting. This is a guy who's really improved his stuff, though. A year ago, it was around 90, 91. His breaking ball's got a lot better, and that velocity's had a big uptick. He'll be in the mid-90s today.
At 93 that time, he misses low to Chris Katz. Katz, one of 2 Mercer hitters to start every game this year. The other, Logan Shepard, aboard at first base after his leadoff single. Yellow Jackets are coming off a 3-game sweep over the Duke Blue Devils. That is the 5th ACC team they have swept this year. And they will wrap up the regular season with 3 games at Boston College starting Thursday. Throw back over to first. Shepard back in time, but in some ways, Dusty, you could make the argument this is the state championship game. Mercer's 6-1 against teams from Georgia. The Yellow Jackets are 7-1 against teams from Georgia. And for the Jackets, their postseason resume is close to perfect.
Right.
Feels like they have blocked up a top 8 seed in a lot of ways. Mercer, meanwhile, Baseball America had them as among the last 4 teams in their field today. D1 Baseball had them among their first 4 out. 3-0 swing. So the bottom line is a win tonight for Mercer. Their RPI currently at 38. You kind of want to be inside that top 45. It would go a long ways.
Yeah, and we talked to Coach Gibson this morning, and I think he's doing his best to downplay it with the guys, right? No one game is more important than the next or the last.
Had him leaning the wrong way. Oh, close.
Yeah, and that one right there, that throw took Schmidt to his glove side. If that ball's over the bag, I think he has him leaning. Logan Shepard, you'll get a look at his lead. Yeah, I think trying to time it up, see how that ball is over to the left. If that's on the base, I think he's got a shot.
Ball fours. The first two have reached here for Mercer. And we've talked so often about this Georgia Tech offense throughout the season, Dusty. They lead the nation in almost every category, including runs per game. Mercer, not to be outdone, though, they are 5th nationally in runs per game and in the top 5 and on base percentage, slugging percentage, home runs. I mean, these are two of the top offenses in the country. And on a midweek, you know, things can go a little haywire sometimes.
No doubt about it. Doing a little prep for the game, obviously some of the numbers jump off the page at you. And this guy right here is, and I'm sorry, Katz at first is the guy that I think you circle as far as the big campaign that he's putting together. Coach Gibson mentioned, you know, if he's likely the conference player of the year. If he's not sure who is.
Eli Stevens heading the count. And right now, Lanky just struggling finding the strike zone. That's now 6 of the last 7 that have missed.
Yeah, and I think Carson Curse at shortstop thinking the same way you are. Just a little breather here. You have to wonder, Wiley, you hit it on the top. Sometimes when you get that first career start, no matter how old you are, how much experience you have, how well you've thrown up to this point, you want to do a little, you know, maybe a little bit too much. It's hard to speculate, but definitely is having a hard time commanding the baseball right now.
Talking with catcher Vaughn Lackey, projected top 5 pick in this summer's Major League Draft. He's got a big contingent in support of him today. A lot of members from his alma mater, Collins Hill, have come down for this Tuesday night game. 2-0 on Eli Stevens, team's leader in slugging percentage. And here's a strike from Lanky. Only meeting between these two teams this year. Georgia Tech has won each of the last 5 dating back to 2023. And Lanky misses high with a breaking ball.
So we've seen the full arsenal here for Lanky through the 10 pitches. I think part of that is trying to find something he can get command of and find that release point. Sometimes when you're struggling to find that slider or that breaking ball and get you back in.
And there is a breaking ball laced into center. Burris coming on, makes a chest high grab. It was hard hit, but it's an out. That's a huge psychological boost.
100%. Yeah, when you're struggling to find it, you know, almost invite them to hit it as hard as you want, as long as it's at somebody. And that's a tougher play than it looks for Burris out in center field. So often you hear those line drives that are head high. You can be aggressive coming in, and sometimes it'll fly you. Otherwise, you know, you hang back and it'll drop in. Really good patience and then closing speed right there by Burris.
Now Mercer's leading hitter, Titan Kamaka, the shortstop, hitting .416. On the first pitch, he bounces it fair inside the bag towards the right field corner. Shepard will scamper home and score. Katz is cutting the bag at third. He's coming home. It will be a 2-run triple for Titan Kamaka. And the Bears strike first.
And it's a fastball, Wiley. I think actually Lanky beats him with the velocity. Kamaka with a late swing, but placed it perfectly, and it kind of hooks on that right field line. Another look at it here. Good inside-out swing, and you can see Georgia Tech playing that pull shift again. I'm not sure it matters either way, but Schmidt was a good way off the bag there.
And I'm not sure how often Chris Katz has gone first to home this year, but he got it done.
Yeah, it helped. It was tucked away in that corner pretty good. A long way to go for Baker out and right.
Infield's going to play back for Georgia Tech. Ground ball to third. Zuckerman was all over it, but foul, and Brant Bauckham, former Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, at the plate. Began his career a couple of years back here on the flats. Having a fine year for Mercer now, hitting over 300 this season. Looking for RBI number 50.
If you're Bauckham, you can understand. Probably want to have a big night tonight. You know, that I think there's always a couple games when you transfer in-state to a different opponent that you circle. And like you said, he's having a good year.
3 men on the left side of the infield. And Baucom comes up empty as he chases a slider down and away.
It's the best one that Lanky's thrown today. Good sharp action. On that slider, when you're missing arm side, consistently up and arm side, the cue for most pitchers is, how can I get further down the mound? Almost reach out there, really want to turn the ball over. That had the best action by far on all of the sliders tonight.
See if he goes back to it here. Went down and in and missed.
I think right on right changeup there in a 1-2 count. After the swing that Baucom gave the previous pitch, I'm a little surprised he didn't go back to it.
Infield creeping in a little bit more with 2 strikes now. And they'll come all the way in. 2-2. Check swing, cold, strike 3.
And that's slider there, again, going back to it. Hard to see from up here where that pitch finished in the zone. This will be a better look at it. And a really good job by Von Lackey behind the plate. Such strong hands. Obviously, jumping up the draft boards this year of what he's doing from an offensive standpoint, but he's been able to catch at a professional level for a long time.
And if you can steal strike 3 with a runner at third and less than 2 outs, that is massive. And now it's up to Braden Kersey, and it'll be an intentional walk. So Kersey up to first. One of just 2 left-handed hitters in the lineup, and now they'll give Lanky a chase to face the righty Dylan LaPointe. Well, it has not been a clean inning for Jake Lanky, but considering where you were at, with this offense giving up just 2 runs, and the pitch count's still in pretty good shape, you got to feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, not out of the woods yet.
Yep.
You know, runner on third, but with 2 outs now, that infield can play back a little bit bigger. Some of the contact's been soft too, Wiley. You know, it's not, not that that matters. They all count the same. But you think back to Shepard and lead off the game, beats the shift. Then that big triple that scored the 2 runs by Kamaka was another one that he beat him with velocity, slapped it down the line. He's just been behind in a lot of counts.
The only ball that's really been struck hard was the line
The
out.
line out to center, right?
The 0-1. So Jake Lanky out of Blessed Trinity High School. This is his 24th appearance at Georgia Tech. Now, he graduated this past week, and he spent a year at UGA where he redshirted. But his first start comes as an alum. Go figure. 1-1. Swing and a miss. And Dylan LaPointe, you look at his stat line, Dusty, you see, hey, there's some pretty serious power there, 13 home runs.
Yeah.
But there are some strikeouts to be had as well.
Yeah, and here 1-2 if you're Lanky with a runner on third. This is where you want to expand the zone a little bit. You're not necessarily pitching for a strikeout, but you are pitching for weak contact. Trying to see if you can keep LaPointe on his heels and expand that strike zone.
Ground ball slapped sharply to short. Curse up with it. Across the first, and the Yellow Jacket shortstop ends the inning. He'll lead off when we come back with a chance for history. Curse and Burris coming up. Yellow Jackets trailing 2-0. In Midtown Atlanta, let's go down to the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, our dugout reporter, Sophie Davis.
Well, guys, Carson Curse and Drew Burris are both chasing history tonight. Like you said earlier, back on Sunday, the 2 both tied all-time program records that were set in 1994 when the Jackets finished as runners-up in Omaha. Well, Drew Burris got the record with his or tied the record, excuse me, with his 57th career home run, and Carson Kearse got it with his 27th double of the season. I talked to them earlier, and Kearse said, well, I want to break the record tonight. That's what I want to do. I want to do it at home tonight. And what better way to do it than the final home game of this season? And Coach Ramsey just added on top of that, and he said the pressure's off now that it's been tied. Now they have to just go and break the record, and anything else will be icing on top, guys.
Thanks, Sophie, and she's right. The timing could not be better. Final home regular season game. You know, both these guys want to get it done. You see Drew Burress, 57 home runs. He has tied Jason Varitek. Carson Kearse, with his 27 doubles, has tied Jay Payton. Keep in mind, that 94 team, one of the last two standing.
That's right.
Those records were broken about a month later than we currently are. First pitch to Kearse is taken for a called strike. But for Carson Kearse, what a just spectacular season it has been. He and Burress 1 and 2 in this Yellow Jacket order. And a called strike from Jeb Johnson, the veteran for Mercer. Spent 2 years in junior college before transferring to Mercer in 2024, now in his 3rd year as a Bear. Strike 3 called. He freezes Kearse, 1 away in the bottom of the 1st.
Yeah, well-placed fastball. And with Johnson, it's not going to be high-velocity stuff that jumps off the paper at you, but it's going to be any pitch, any count. It's going to be in, it's going to be out, really mixing and matching. And this is a guy that Coach Gibson told us pretty, frankly, that as long as it hits his game, right? As long as he's throwing well, he's going to let him ride as long as he can. A guy they really trust. You mentioned a veteran arm that's thrown a lot in this program.
First pitch strike to Drew Burress. Jeb Johnson faced Georgia Tech last year. 6 innings, giving up 3 runs. But Drew Burress on the doorstep of history at the plate. Taken low and away, and for what it's worth, Johnson, this is his 16th appearance of the season. In over 41 innings, Dusty, he has given up just 3 home runs. When you factor in the home ballpark, that's a pretty impressive number as a pitcher. 1-1. Burress, oh, big swing and a miss. 1 and 2.
And I think, yeah, you just saw Drew Burress signal right there. Change up right on right. Really good sink and fade to that pitch, almost acting like a lefty back foot slider.
The 1-2.
And there's another one. Just absolutely killing the speed right there. 1,300 RPMs. That's almost like knuckle territory, knuckle tumble, split territory, where he's really taking spin off that pitch.
Burress swings and laces one past the shortstop, Kamaka. It's a 1-out single for Burress, makes a big turnaround first. And while it's not going to get him the new home run record, Dusty, that does give Drew now 14 consecutive games with a hit.
We talked about in the open, really hot at the right time. It's hard to believe he's worked his way up to 375. Another changeup, here it is. Burress is out in front of it. He's fooled a little bit, but he does such a good job of keeping his hands back, and his hands are so fast, and he trusts them so much. He knows his body can be out in front and still whip the hands through.
Ball 1 on Jared Advincula, and for all that billing we gave Kearse and Burress, feels like you're shortchanging Jared Advincula, who leads the ACC in batting average, hitting .431, 90 hits, the most in Division I.
And looking at this lineup, Wiley, I think something that hasn't really been talked about a ton is pretty good fortune with availability and injury, right? So obviously, if you're a Georgia Tech fan, knock on wood, but Kearse, Burress, Advincula, those 3 big hitters in the top of your lineup, they've started all 50 games. And that's really uncommon in today's game where, maybe you get a guy a day or something happens. But even up and down the lineup, Schmidt and Hernandez have missed a little bit of time. But Zuckerman, Baker, Lackey, and the top 6 guys really have been really consistent for them, Wiley.
Advincula takes a strike. Dusty, again, that's something I think everyone kind of knows, doesn't want to talk about around that Georgia Tech dugout. But again, you look at the numbers of the 8 players in the lineup tonight, or 9, 8 of those 9 have started 42 or more games. And I don't care what type of season it is, If you can avoid the injury bug, that's when things really get exciting, particularly for a team that has this much talent. They have been extremely fortunate, on top of being extremely talented.
Right. It's a nice combination.
Jeb Johnson spins over to first. Mercer a 2-0 lead thanks to the 2-run triple from Titan Kamaka. Jeb Johnson in a 2-2 count. Ground ball rolled out to second. Buffon, Kamaka, Shepard. Inning-ending double play. And for a Yellow Jacket offense that has been scoring in bunches, Jeb Johnson throws up a 0 here on the road in the bottom of the first.
Tailor-made, Wiley. 4-6-3, clean turn to get a good runner. Mercer goes back to the bats.
Could not ask for a better night to close out the home portion of the regular season schedule for the third-ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. 72 degrees, crystal clear skies. Little family there in the dugout. There is head coach Greg Gibson and his daughter-in-law, Maggie Gibson, former Diamond Girl here at Georgia Tech. And there you see Craig Gibson in his 23rd season, looking for his 24th win against a ranked opponent. 5 of those coming against the Yellow Jackets. He remembers back in the day when Dusty Eisen would toe the rubber. Did you ever get a start in the midweek against these guys?
Actually,
swing and a miss.
No, I came in to close my freshman year and did not record a save. Did not go well.
Did you get a win?
Did not get a win,
Okay.
But I don't think I got the loss. I think they Coach Hall got me in, got me out before anything terrible could happen.
Just a blown save.
Yeah.
0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss from Ethan Buffon, who is the only freshman in the starting lineup for either of these teams today. There you can see the Mercer win. So let's see. It must have been, what do you think, that 2011, one of those two games as a freshman,
could have contributed
right?
to that for him.
At the knees, called strike 3. Second strikeout for Lanky tonight. Just rode that bottom rail with the slider.
And a nice bounce back for him. I think that's, as well as this team has been going, anytime you get into a regional, right, and things can happen, you're always, it's such a luxury to have a fourth starter. Not saying that that's going to be Lanky's role or if he's going to be stretched out enough, but it's certainly an audition, right, to see if you can offer a little bit of length, see what you look like that second and third time up, meaning, you know, go sit in the dugout, go out for another inning. That's a big deal for a reliever trying to get into a starter's routine. A 0 here would go a long way for him.
And now Michael Graziano in his second year at Mercer. As you saw, a transfer from Georgia Tech, was on the 2024 team, so he was a part of that recruiting class of Drew Burris and Carson Curse and Vaughn Lackey. See those numbers coming out of the 9 spot, Dusty. Similar to what you see from Georgia Tech.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes it's not a bad place to be. And when 7, 8, 9, a little bit more fastballs, you see some more predictable counts of what you're going to get. He's had a really nice year.
If you look statistically at the 9 spot for the Yellow Jackets this year, I believe I was told the OPS is over 1,000.
Yeah, that's where you want to be.
Which, when you consider what's at the top of the lineup, it makes some sense.
Right. Yeah.
Well, after 3 straight strikes to punch out the phone, that's 4 straight balls to walk Graziano.
Yeah, and that's kind of a microcosm of what we saw in the first. Just doesn't have that great feel. Traditionally a pretty good strike thrower, around the zone a lot. It's a little bit uncharacteristic. As you mentioned, the pitch count isn't wildly high, but it's anytime you're pitching 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, forces you to be a little bit more perfect.
And now Logan Shepard, singled on the first pitch of the ball game, takes a called strike here. And to your point, Dusty, only 6 walks for Lanky in over 19 innings this year. Entering tonight, it was a 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, but he's walked 3. Of course, one of those was intentional.
To your earlier point, I think Graziano's success in the 9-hole, big reason why you feel comfortable batting Chris Katz second. It's almost that second leadoff, or the traditional 3-hole hitter hitting second. Between Graziano and Shepard, they're doing a really good job of getting on base for Katz and Stevens. That's where they've made their hay offensively.
I like how you said Katz and Stevens. That made me think of Cat Stevens.
Maybe that's what he's going for.
Yeah.
Coach Gibson, he's had no other choice.
That's what's that song about fatherhood, right? Cat and Cradle and the Silver Spoon.
Yeah,
all right,
there you go.
All right, just make sure we had that taken care of. We can move along now. That was going to bug me.
Good
1-2. Wrapped foul. I bet you didn't know I had Cat Stevens.
No, I
in my bag.
did not think you were going to pull that out. I'm glad you did, though, because I was scrambling. And even there with Lanky, right? He got away with it at the end of the last inning against LaPointe. 1-2 count, sort of hung his slider. LaPointe hit it hard, but on the ground. There again in 1-2, that's way too good when you have the advantage.
In an outing where you struggled with your control, perhaps a little more uncharacteristically, you think it's harder to be more precise in those 2 strike counts?
For me anyway, the tendency was, well, finally I got there. I'm going to try and overthrow it. I'm going to try and make it nastier than I have to. And those are usually the ones that pop out. You know, I had a really good pitching coach that said, throw it the exact same way you did early in the count. We're just changing the landing spot. Change your eyesight. Better one there.
Lobbed into center. Burris coming on, diving, and he can't make the catch. Graziano had to wait and see if it was going to fall, so he'll be at second base. Drew Burris playing a little deeper. The way this ballpark has played the last 3 weeks, Dusty, it has been jumping, which is what we're accustomed to.
Right. And this is similar to what we saw from Stevens in the first inning, that line drive. This one's more off the bat, and I think that's what fooled Burris. When it's not barreled up, the perception is that it's coming in firm, and you have to wait back on it. He did a really good job against Stevens in the first. That one, I think, got caught in between because it's a big swing, but the ball goes off the end of the bat.
Yeah, only 80 miles per hour off the bat. So 2 on and 1 out, and here is Chris Katz. If you're going to hang a slider, hang it way high, right?
Yes. Go north of the hitting zone.
Mercer with 2 runs in the first, looking for more here. Yellow Jackets as a pitching staff this year, 6th in the ACC in ERA. On pace to set a school record in strikeouts per 9 under the direction of Matt Taylor in his 3rd year as a pitching coach. In the air, deep center. Burris trotting back. He's on the track, and he has got it. Graziano's going to try and get to 3rd. He will. So a productive out. That ballpark just big enough. That's probably the deepest part of the park, too.
Yeah. Katz just missed that. You see the power numbers, not only with home runs, but doubles as well. He likes that ball up. I think just a little bit underneath it. Hit it a mile high. if you're lanky, you're going to take it.
And here comes head coach James Ramsey. Reliever is walking out of the bullpen. That's going to be it for Jake Lanky. With a left-hander Eli Stevens due up, Coach Ramsey will turn to the lefty Dylan Loy. We'll tell you more about him when we return. Mercer, 2-0 lead, top of the second. Out of the pen for the Yellow Jackets, transferring in from Tennessee, and he has been that reliable lefty for Georgia Tech this season. He'll come on with 2 on and 2 out and facing a pretty tough lefty.
Yeah, really good numbers for Dylan Loy. He's been everything that Georgia Tech was hoping he would be when they went and grabbed him out of the portal from Tennessee. You see that, picked up 40 innings. Most of those are out of relief, kind of that long guy that comes in and settles games, punching out more than one guy an inning, really comfortable spinning the ball. Whether it's against lefties or against righties, he's going to manipulate the shape of that breaker to make it uncomfortable for left-handed hitters. And like you said, a tough ask here as Stevens steps in.
Well, that was the brain trust you saw there, Matt Taylor and Jason Richmond, Director of Pitching Development. And one of the things you got to appreciate about Matt, he's not afraid to show some emotion there in the dugout.
Oh, yeah.
So Eli Stevens, who lined out sharply to center in his first at bat, facing Dylan Loy. On the first pitch, he whacks it high in the air, deep left field, going back and gone! Eli Stevens goes the other way, and Mercer with an early 5 here on the road in Atlanta.
And he's one of the 2 guys that you look at the lineup that jumps off. What a swing right there, left on left. Fastball up, probably even out of the strike zone, but so much strength for Stevens right there. He just stays inside of it, and to go the opposite way the way he did right there, really impressive swing. Here's another look. Yeah, it's a fastball, probably a ball. That's numbers to letters high. Does a good job of staying on top of it. It's one of the best swings we've seen in a few weeks.
So 3-0 Mercer. Or beg your pardon, 5-0 Mercer. 3 here in the second. The first pitch curveball from Loy misses low on Kamaka, and all 5 of those runs have come on just 2 swings. That 3-run homer from Stevens, and then Titan Kamaka tripled home 2 runs in his last at bat. Now ahead in the count 1-0. Good backdoor breaking ball.
Yeah, I think for Stevens, probably trying to, just doesn't want to get to a count where he has to face that breaker. Ambush and fastball, goes up to get it, but man, what a swing. This offense is legit, Wiley.
Yep. That is the 115th homer Mercer has hit this year. This is their 43rd game. Beg your pardon, 53rd game.
Still good.
Yeah, still more than 2 a game.
I'm not great at math, but I can do that, and that's still pretty good. 3 a game.
Yep. Georgia Tech gave up just 1 run in each of their final 2 games against Duke. I beg your pardon, 3 runs total, 2 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. Those are run rule games, but Mercer's put up 5 in the first 2 innings. Like we talked about, midweek games can get a little haywire.
Yes.
You don't have your top arms, at least in the rotation, going for you. 2-2.
And we talked about the 4th starter if needed for Georgia Tech. I think you feel pretty solid about the 3 you'd run out there, but this might be the guy that you put a star next to if you haven't used him yet. He's the one who does offer a little bit of length. He was in the rotation earlier. I would imagine if it came to it, he would be that 4th guy, but that's where it's dicey, right? You don't want to hold someone out if you don't need to use him, and Loy's definitely a guy that you want to get to. You know, he's so valuable early on in a regional for sure.
2-2 is lofted, slicing out of play. You know, it's funny, we're talking about how things can get a little haywire in a midweek game. Closest thing to a midweek game in the postseason is that 4th or 5th game of a regional, right? That if necessary game, you want to talk about some chaos.
Yeah, and I think if you're Georgia Tech, obviously you hope you don't get there.
Yep.
But if you do, I think you take your chances of your offense carrying you through that game. That other team has also played, you know, a handful of games, and hope you get to their back end guys.
As Dylan Loy punches out Kamaka, but Eli Stevens, an opposite field jolt, and the Mercer Bears have jumped out ahead of the Yellow Jackets 5-0. Bottom of the 2nd inning, Mercer with a 5-0 lead over number 3 Georgia Tech, and now Jeb Johnson, who faced the minimum in the first through just 13 pitches. His first offering to Von Lackey dances low, but he's got to love where he's sitting right now, Dusty. Pitch count at 14. He's got a 5-spot cushion.
Exactly how you were hoping the game would start out if you're Jeb Johnson. And he's just the kind of guy, I've seen 15 pitches, kind of seen what I need to see. You know, gets the ball, he's got rhythm, stuff's not going to overpower you, but he's not afraid, going to throw it in there. And I think that's what Coach Gibson likes about him. Just, you know, that it's probably not going to be 7 scoreless, 7 shutout, but you feel pretty good that he'll get you through 5 with 4 and keep you in the game. And with your offense, more times than not, that's going to be enough.
1-2 to Von Lackey. Jeb Johnson, he faced Georgia Tech last year, and while no, there was not Ryan Zuckerman, there wasn't Jared Advincula, the rest of these pieces were all here. And you can see 6 innings, 3 runs. It was a game that the Yellow Jackets won, but no fault of Jeb Johnson. As a laser punched into center field, and Von Lackey with a leadoff single to begin the bottom of the 2nd.
That's a really nice swing right there by Lackey. And Bobby Miranda and I were working the booth last weekend, and that's a really good sign for him. You know, Bobby's trademark TTM, through the middle, right? And that's what, when he stays at the right center field and up the middle, his swing's in a really good place. He had that, I wouldn't even call it a slump, but a 2 or 3 week period where it seemed like he was a little bit jumpy, pulling, trying to go pull side, and now he's back to the big side of the park, and that's when he goes really well.
And while Jeb Johnson has some confidence against this Georgia Tech lineup, he did surrender a home run to Will Baker last year.
But the point you're making is real, right? So if you're Jeb Johnson, that gives you some confidence coming into the start. Again, it's not the exact same lineup, but you've been there, done that.
High chopper. Nobody's covering first, and that's going to be an infield single, and Will Baker cashes in a little miscommunication there by the Mercer infield.
And that's a play that you work on every week in pitcher fielding practice. PFPs, we call it, that's the Bermuda Triangle. It's so tough, right? So it looks like Shepard's planning to field the ball, going to throw it back. You have the second baseman, Buffon, coming in. But that's probably the pitcher's ball. But if you are Johnson, you got to call it immediately so that Shepard can get back to the bag. It's a really tough play.
Now a really tough out stepping in, Ryan Zuckerman, who leads the Yellow Jackets with 20 home runs. Transfer from Pitt. Has had a dazzling year. And the table is set. The 2-0 count. 2 on.
How many times have you seen it this year where Georgia Tech gets that fortunate or bloop single, and now nobody on running the scoring position. You look up, Zuckerman's at the plate. This is where they start to make their big chunks. Good pitch. And against Zuckerman, that's where you have to live. If you hang it and leave it up on the belt, he'll clip it pretty good. But when you make him go all the way down, it's just a big move for him to cover that part of the plate. That's where a lot of his swing and miss is the breaker down.
That was a breaker a little too elevated, 2-2. Zuckerman can't straighten it out.
Now a guy like Jeb Johnson, I'd be really surprised here. Really experienced arm, the ability to read the swing. See if you can throw a very similar pitch to what you threw to get to at the 2-0 count to get back into it. Now expand it a little bit for Chase. Fastball.
Looked like he was trying to go up.
Yeah.
But then the point had to dart down. And that'll fill the count. Zuckerman, a lot of strikeout. We'll see if the Yellow Jackets start the runners here. Payoff from Johnson. Struck him out. Heater at the knees. Yeah, that's the second strikeout now for Jeb Johnson, and a huge first out in the second.
Yeah, huge, especially given the circumstances. I don't think Zuckerman likes the call. That's about a perfect pitch right there. It looked to be pretty good at the knees. You have to wonder if maybe Zuckerman sitting off speed or a breaking ball there and got caught in between. Either way, a really good pitch by Jeb Johnson. That's where if you're going to challenge him with a fastball there, it's got to be down.
And now Kent Schmidt takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. It feels like, based on that strike 3 call we just saw, and then when Brant Bockham was called out on strike 3, that the bottom of the zone is available if you're a pitcher.
And even that one right there, to Schmidt, I think could have gone either way. There's another one.
Yep.
And if you're Jeb Johnson, again, not to belabor the point, but an experienced arm, he's picking on that already. You know what I mean? And a guy that can command a lot of pitches, he's going to live down there until you're not going to give him the call.
0-2 on Kent Schmidt. Spoils that one. First baseman for the Yellow Jackets, another batting average well into the 300s. He is not your typical Georgia Tech left-handed slugger. He works the large side of the field. 30th pitch tonight for Johnson. And it slips out of the hand.
Yeah, the prototypical left-handed slugging first baseman from Georgia Tech usually does most of his damage in the trees to right field. That's not the type of hitter that Schmidt is. He's a really complete hitter. Goes to that left center field gap about as well as anybody.
I feel like we got to tip our cap to Tony Plackman every time we talk about those left-handed hitting first basemen. 1-2 is skied in the air to left. Katz sauntering towards the line. Puts away the second out.
just like that, Johnson's got himself back in a really good spot. The strikeout to Zuckerman is huge because the runners don't advance. If Zuckerman can put that in play with the way and advance those runners, the way Lackey runs, it's probably an RBI sac fly right there. So pitching out a trouble a little bit for Jeb Johnson, doing a good job.
And now Alex Hernandez, sophomore out of Cumming, Georgia, the reigning ACC Freshman of the Year. Jumps on the first pitch and lifts it into right. Backpedaling Stevens puts the squeeze on it. And Jeb Johnson slips through the fingers of the Yellow Jacket offense in the second. Throws up another 0. Five 0 Mercer. The Yellow Jackets 30-3 here at home, but Craig Gibson's club has a chance to deal with the Jackets their 4th loss here at McNeese Baseball Park, but a long way to go and a lot on the line. These are the top 2 records among all Division I baseball teams in the state of Georgia against those teams from the state of Georgia. So you can make a pretty good case that tonight is the state championship. Of course, with the way things are trending, UGA, Georgia Tech, Mercer look like locks to one hopper from Balkum, and it squirts right through the legs of Advincula, and Balkum will reach to begin the 3rd. But I should say Tech and Georgia certainly locks to host regionals, if not the top 8s, and then you've got Mercer, a team that's again right on the bubble there. Bottom line is these teams might see each other again down the line.
That was my next question, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but geographically there'd be a good chance, right? That you would think between the two, the Athens Regional and the Atlanta Regional.
Yeah, the last time Mercer made the NCAA tournament was 2019. Just missed off the plate, ball 1.
And that would be as a 3 seed, right? They'd be going as a 3 seed.
Sort of depends how things play out, but yes, that would be the
more than pretty scary 3 seed to walk into your regional the way they're swinging it.
.1-0 is in the air to center. Burris giving ground. He's at the wall and looking up. It's off the batter's eye. Braden Kiersey makes it 7-0 Mercer on his 21st home run of the season.
Another beautiful swing. That's left on left again, similar to what we saw from Stevens. Stevens had to go up more to get that. But that's a breaker, hard of the plate. Just an easy, simple swing. And that ball really carried, Wiley. Off the bat, I thought it had a good chance. But as you're watching Burris track it, it's pretty clear right away that the thing's going.
Wave and a miss from Dylan LaPointe. So Georgia Tech, they go to their lefty, Dylan Loy. And it's the 2 left-handed hitters in Mercer's lineup who have tagged him deep. Go figure.
We talked about the length that the Georgia Tech lineup has. We talked about it all year. How would you like that in your 6-hole? Braden Kersey, 308, now 21 pumps, 60 RBI.
It's funny you say that. Look at Georgia Tech's 6-hole. It's high. 20 pumps.
They're the same player.
Both,
one hits lefty and one hits righty.
Yeah, both teams' leading home run hitters are stashed away in the 6th spot. Dylan LaPointe, 13 home runs, not too shabby himself. But he's down on strikes that time. Good bounce back from Dylan Lloyd. So, by the way, that will be an error on Jared Vincula. No surprise there. So only one of those runs is earned.
And the difference between that breaking ball versus the one that Kersey saw is just location. Same shape, very similar velocity. That one's down. And because it's down, it's a little bit more vertical.
One slips out of Loy's hand against Ethan Buffone.
Yeah, it was interesting. When we talked to Coach Gibson this morning, Wiley, I don't know if you felt the same way, and I've talked to him throughout the years. Familiar enough, you could tell he likes this group.
Yep.
You know, he wasn't, again, not going to make this game any bigger than it has to be, but you could just kind of tell by the tone and the way he was talking about it that he feels pretty good about his club, especially from the offensive standpoint.
2-1 on Buffone.
Made him good tonight.
Well, like we've discussed, you know, there are times, in fact, frequently you'll have a mid-major team in these late midweeks, and there's not a whole lot on the line. They're super focused on finishing the end of their conference season strong, and not to say Mercer isn't focused on that. Long hold for Loy. Now the 3-1. Drops one in for strike 2, but for Mercer, their RPI at 38. This is a win that, you know, not just about perception and recruiting and putting together, taking down number 3 in the country. All those things are great. This could materially impact their NCAA resume and might put them over the top into the field. And a 1-out walk from Loy, and now with a 7-0 cushion. I think if you're in that Mercer dugout, you are going for it all tonight because of what this win could do to your resume.
Yes, that's the kind of the chess game that Coach Gibson probably playing internally as this game develops, right? If they're down 7-0,
very different.
Maybe you alter your plans a little bit. Want to make sure your guys are fresh for the the last weekend heading into the conference tournament. But now it's 7-0. It's pedal to the metal.
And for what it's worth, Georgia Tech already has one double-digit comeback on their resume this year. They trailed Wake Forest 10-0 after 2, came all the way back to win about 2.5 weeks ago.
I think Coach Gibson's also highly aware of that. It's against this offense, you can't let up. But they're off to a really good start. And I think Jeb Johnson appreciates it more than anybody, allowing him to settle in the game. Don't have to be perfect, can invite contact. Suddenly you can pitch a little bit more in the middle of the square and establish contact.
Anything jumping out to you about Loy here in this outing?
Just doesn't, I don't want to say, it doesn't have the command of the breaker, and that's his game, right? When he can't use that to get ahead and finish hitters, he's a little bit hamstrung because he doesn't have the premium velocity. He's going to it a lot, trying to find it, but when I've seen him at his best, he's dropping it in for a get me over. He's changing the shape a little bit for chase, works ahead. Doesn't have his best stuff, it appears, so far tonight.
1-2 on Graziano. Ooh, the bat goes flying. Oh my, scary moment. Graziano strikes out. And thankfully she's okay.
Yeah, did that get up in the net? I didn't, off the padding maybe?
I think it was off. Take another look here. So just to the left of the Diamond Girls there, off this LED board.
Oh wow, yeah. And that netting right there is relatively new. That used to be open season.
Now before that net, I don't think anyone had sat there.
Right, fair.
but it's a good point, Dusty. Ball 1 on Logan Shepard. But going back to Loy, I mean, would he fall into the category as a guy who pitches off of his breaking ball?
Yeah, and I think that's where you know you have a good one. When the scouting report is, hey, he's going to throw his breaking ball a lot, and you can still be really successful at throwing it.
And a funky hop off the mound of Vincula in the fingertips. Steps atop the second base bag to end the inning. But Mercer, another blast. This one off the batter's eye from Braden Kersey. His 21st dinger of the season. And Mercer is into the end zone, 7-0 early. Mercer spoiling the party here in Midtown Atlanta, up 7-0 over the third-ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, but history is still on the line. Carson Kearse due up second in this third inning. 27 doubles, tying the school record that belongs to Jay Payton back in 1994 when the Yellow Jackets were the national runners-up. And, oh yeah, Drew Burress, career home run record, he's pulled even with Jason Varitek. Of course, it is important to point out that Jason Varitek hit those 57 homers in 4 years as a Yellow Jacket. This is just Drew Burress's third. It's a big 33 out there in right field. Parker Brocious had himself quite a weekend. He graduated from Georgia Tech and slugged his first career grand slam on the weekend against Duke. Jeff Johnson ahead again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two and two.
And that's what we've seen, any pitch, any count. So he gets to 1-2 primarily with the breaker, backs it up with a changeup, trying to go right on right changeup, one of the toughest pitches to make. How about Parker Brocious, Wiley? Kind of an unsung hero, biding his time. Wasn't an everyday guy starting the year. Has kind of earned that spot, especially recently.
With a quality at bat.
Yep.
So a leadoff walk. But Parker Brocious, as you said, really had to grind away to earn this starting role, and feels like he's got his hands on it for the time being. So with Brocious aboard at first, out of the 9th spot, it's the leadoff man Carson Kearse, who began the year in the 9th spot. A double away from setting the school record. Fouls this one off.
Doesn't it feel like when they moved him from 9 to 1, the rest of the lineup sort of fell into place? It really settled it. For a while, they were bouncing to Vincula in the leadoff spot, Burress, and then Vincula was able to slide into the 3-hole. He swung it really well ever since.
I think statistically, he had no problems, but from a feel standpoint,
right,
from
guys in their natural slots,
exactly.
Yeah.
In the air to right field, backing up Stevens, circling underneath it, and he puts Kearse away for the first out. And now Drew Burress on the doorstep of history, 57 career home runs. The captain climbs in for Georgia Tech. Burris out of Houston County High School. That's just 25 miles south of Mercer's campus in Macon. Middle Georgia kid. Trying to make that history against Middle Georgia School in Mercer. He has hit 6 home runs in his last 8 games, Dusty, including a homer in 4 straight.
That's what you were hoping, right? As you get into the back end of this schedule, he can carry you in the biggest games.
1-1. Strike 2.
And that's that bottom of the zone that we were talking about last inning, Wiley. It's going to be there. Jeb Johnson has been taking advantage of it. Again, when his fastball is 88, 89, he's got to pitch down there. If they make him get it up in the zone, it could be trouble.
We've also mentioned at the top of the show, but Dusty, I don't think we have seen a player that had higher billing than Drew Burris when he arrived at Georgia Tech. I mean, if you're a Yellow Jacket fan, it was almost Calvin Johnson level. Right. Going back to football 25 years ago. Pounds one on the ground, charging, and Bachman can't make the play. It'll trickle into left field. And the Yellow Jackets thought about going first to third there, but Brocious gets a late stop sign. He's safe at second. Drew Burris 2 for 2 tonight. A couple of singles through the left side.
Bachman kind of caught in between there. The only option he had with that high chopper was to take that drop step, and if he does that, I think Burris maybe beats it out anyways. Tough in-between hop. What he's trying to do is glove that and run through it and make a throw. Probably the only play he has to get him out at first.
So 2 on for Jaron Advincula. Whistles one into right center field. That'll splash down for a base hit. Brocious racing home, and the Yellow Jackets are on the board. An RBI single for Jaron Advincula. 7-1, Mercer leads.
We've seen that all year. Just a simple swing. I think it's a fastball. No breaking ball, I think. Slider that just sort of spun in the middle of the strike zone, and Advincula just stays in the middle so well.
You know, as a pitcher, anytime your breaking ball looks like a fastball, that could be a problem.
Yes, and you normally know it, right? The swing will tell you all you need to know.
Here's Von Lackey now. Takes inside ball 1, and all of the elements, whether it be the lineups, the weather, the day of the week, all a confluence for big-time offense. It's hard to imagine the game being out of reach for either of these teams at any point tonight. By the way, that's the 91st hit for Jaron Advincula this year. Vaughn hits it sharply. Bauckham gloves. Low throw to second. The turn to first. Not in time. In fact, Albert Martinez, the first base umpire, may have said that Shepard lost touch with the bag. Either way, the toughest catcher to double up in all of college baseball, Von Lackey, beats it out for an RBI.
You usually don't see catchers run as well as Von Lackey does. Elite athlete, and I think what killed the double play here is that feed from Bauckham. Buffon had to go down kind of across his body to receive it and ensure that he gets the first out. Put him in a tough position for that relay.
Yeah, no question there, Shepard well off the bag. And Will Baker hacking away at the first pitch, fouls it off and out of play. So a couple of runs for the Yellow Jackets here in the 3rd inning. Pitching coaches will talk often about how your stomach begins to turn when you've got a couple of guys on. Feels like that's just a permanent state when you're facing Georgia Tech and Mercer this year.
It's
just
definitely
given the nature of the
uncomfortable,
offense. Yep.
And it can change on a dime for both of them. And
Baker swats one in the air to right. That'll hang up for Stevens. to end the inning. But the Yellow Jackets score a couple of runs and a couple of hits. We've played 3 here at Magny's Baseball Park, and it's the Bears ahead by a handful. This night for baseball, Mercer with the lead over the Yellow Jackets. And let's throw it down to the third member of our crew, Sophie Davis. What do you have on Chris Katz leading off here in the 4th?
Yeah, guys, well, Chris Katz has just exploded onto this scene after transferring from Wake Forest. But the veteran is no stranger to the big stage, playing on Team USA's 12U national team back in 2015, where he won a gold medal in Taiwan. Coach Gibson said he's a guy that you want to look for when you want to start your team. He's the first guy in, last guy out type of player, and just knows how to win. And Katz's experience and power has just been proven so critical for the Mercer team this year and tonight.
Well, Sophie, I think you hit the nail on the head. You look at those numbers from Wake to Mercer and Dusty in today's era of college sports, college baseball, no different. You got to go somewhere you can find some PT, find some playing time.
100%, 100%. I think, sometimes all you guys are looking for opportunity. And with the way the portal works now, and you don't see it so much in college baseball, but maybe guys hanging around a year longer with some NIL, those at-bats are harder to find. And what a lot of programs are doing is they want to get old, right? So they're going into the portal, they're grabbing guys who are standing out at a lower level. And the playing time, like you said, is just harder and harder to find.
Had a chance to talk to pitching coach Matt Taylor before the game today, and he mentioned he felt like this is the oldest lineup Georgia Tech has seen all year, and I think the only other one in the conversation might be Pittsburgh. That's another group of guys who just played a lot of college baseball.
And you see both squads paying off, too.
12-6 drops in for Brett Barfield.
I remember when Link Jarrett took Notre Dame to Omaha in, what was it?
22.
22. That was the biggest thing he pointed to, was we got old. We had guys who played a lot of baseball. They knew how to play. They knew how the system worked. And I think that's a big key. And you get guys that not even necessarily played together with the portal for a long time, but just who have had the experience, have had at-bats, and just find the right opportunity. And Chris Katz is a great example.
And he hits this pitch high in the air to center. Burris has got it. One down here in the 4th for Brett Barfield. Another Yellow Jacket who graduated this past weekend. And he has been another critical piece to this Yellow Jacket bullpen. In fact, when you ask Matt Taylor who are some of the guys you trust at the back end of the game, he puts Brett Barfield in that category.
And I think it's a big credit to the pitching coaches and the development here. He's taken a huge jump this year. Look at those numbers. Just insane what he's done year over year. Missing more bats. The whip at 1.05 really jumps out to you. And it seems like he's a guy who, the stuff is relatively the same, but he's learned his game a little bit more. Knows when he wants to throw what. Has a pretty good breaking ball that he can go to at any count. The fastball's firm enough. There's some deception in his delivery.
Swung on and hit sharply into center. Burris again is there. 2 quick outs for Brett Barfield here in the 4th after the Yellow Jackets put up a pair offensively.
We talked about what this game potentially could mean for Mercer, and certainly not that Georgia Tech's overlooking it, but it's also important to note their weekend series is Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week, right? So I think that's part of the reason you're going to see the pitchers shuffle in and shuffle out. You want to make sure everyone's fresh. Of course, you want to have a good showing tonight, but if you can go and have a good weekend, you put yourself with a little bit of an exclamation point in that Nationals conversation.
Back to Barfield, who knocks it down, slings to first. It's wide of Schmidt. And Kamaka will get all the way up to second. Dusty, walk me through what just happened as a pitcher.
I know the exact feeling. So, first of all, in that comebacker, it feels like, I don't know what that was off the bat, but it feels like it's coming at 130 mile an hour. It's always slower than you think. Right, so that was, 83 exit velo, feels like 103. And then you don't realize how much time your internal clock is sped up. Really what you want to do there if you're Barfield is take a shuffle, gather yourself in your legs. Also, you notice he drops that arm slot real low, almost like a middle infielder charging the ball. That release point's different. And the other side of that is, as a pitcher, and you can see Barfield's kicking himself a little bit, you're throwing 90-mile-an-hour darts downhill. Then you're asked to field the position. It looks so easy, but that throw is so different.
And here comes head coach James Ramsey. There's no action in the Yellow Jacket bullpen, so this is purely a visit. And we've seen Coach Ramsey do that throughout the season.
Yep. I think what you want to make sure you're doing here if you're head coach James Ramsey is just slow it down a little bit. You don't want that one mistake to turn into another and then you give up another run. Barfield's been so efficient early on tonight. Just try and get him back in that mindset.
And you hear coaches talk about it all the time. If you give up a crooked number, even if you respond back with just one run,
right,
that can mean a lot, momentum-wise. And Balkin, by the way, it was his error that led to one of those runs for the Yellow Jackets. Chance to atone. So first pitch breaking ball. I'd imagine Bachum's with no strikes looking for the heater, right?
Yeah, I think so. Try and eliminate one pitch. If you get a fastball out over the plate, probably pull the trigger.
Got the call, 1-1.
Change up there. Now you don't see a ton of change-ups from Barfield. It's usually fastball breaker. However, he's usually facing lefties. That's his situation. So it's nice to see he has that in his back pocket against righties. Could be a good weapon.
Infield tilted just to the left, pull side against Bachum. Went right back to it, Dusty.
Yep. Good pitch. That one a little bit more up. Not necessarily where you want to place it, but gets away with it. Now you're in a situation where you can go back to that curveball down if you want it. Maybe something hard in.
1-2 from Barfield. Challenged him up and in. Kent Schmidt picks it up, and that's the end of the 4th inning. So Brett Barfield able to work around his own error. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's Mercer with a 7-2 lead over number 3 Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech projected to be the #2 overall seed, according to D1Baseball.com, the projection that came out today. And I think the Yellow Jackets would be thrilled to be a top 8 seed. I don't know how they would feel about having that orange tee coming down south.
Well, I think that's a situation you're in. I think you're going to get one of those last SEC teams, regardless of who it is. I saw some metrics, Wiley, where I forget who put it out on social media, but Georgia Tech's making a case. They're on the heels of UCLA. UCLA just doesn't lose, you know.
Yep.
But still something to play for Georgia Tech as far as seeding.
Yep.
You know, if you have a really good finish here, and you can get some good luck from UCLA, I think it's tighter than most people think.
A little low on Ryan Zuckerman. 2 balls and a strike. I think for the Yellow Jackets, you win another series up at Boston College this weekend and get you 24 ACC wins. Wave and a miss. Mix that with an ACC tournament championship, which, look, I mean, winning those 3 games in Durham, or beg your pardon, Charlotte this year, never easy.
Yeah.
But that might be enough to overcome UCLA if there's any hiccup whatsoever. 2-2. Ooh, that just missed. That looked like where the strike call that Barfield were getting on to change it.
Yeah, the pitch before that I thought was close too. He was rung up the first at bat on the pitch down. Very similar one we saw in the 1-2 count.
Strike 3 call. And Zuckerman knew it.
Almost a carbon copy of what we saw that first at bat. That fastball down for whatever reason. Zuckerman's not seeing it. Good 2-seamer. Running back over the plate. No argument that time from Zuckerman.
3 strikeouts now for Jeb Johnson. All 3 of them have been looking.
To your earlier point about the ACC tournament and the layout, though, they've done arguably the hardest part. They've secured the double bye.
Yep.
So now that allows you to shorten your staff and maybe pitch it a little bit more aggressive than you would if you had to win your way through 4 or 5 games.
They've almost adopted the basketball model where it just feels like if you don't get any bye whatsoever,
right?
In basketball, your legs are going to be gone. In baseball, it's your arms.
Right. You run out. And no, I think any head coach you ask or any pitch coach, the depth's never enough. You know, when you get to that, in order to win, what would it take? 4 games, 5 games to
if you're in the bottom half of the league, 9 through 16, you got to win 5.
5. So you got to,
5 in 6 days.
It's
tall order.
Yes. It's tough. And you're going to have a couple guys step up and uncharacteristically throw the ball really well.
Which, to be fair, Schmidt drives this one in the air to left field. It's sailing, reaching up. Katz makes the catch. Wow.
It's a really nice play by Katz. An unfamiliar field. Sometimes that wall feels like it's a lot closer than it is. He does a good job of getting to the spot. A little drift at the end, but he gets back there. You see him put his hand up to feel for it. Has a really good awareness of where he's at.
So 2 up, 2 down for Jeb Johnson here in the 4th inning. That's the first time he's done that today. And he fires the first pitch strike on Alex Hernandez. But usually if you see a team that isn't a top 8 seed in the NCAA tournament come through with a big run or a big moment, it's because you have a few guys who uncharacteristically step up. That's a huge part 100%. Of postseason baseball.
100%.
I think you go back to the 2024 regional for the Yellow Jackets. They ended up losing to Georgia in that regional championship game. Dog came from behind late, but 2 things happened in that game that put Tech in a position to win it. One, Mason Patel, who was not the Mason Patel you see here today, put together arguably his best start of the season. And Vaughn Lackey, I think, hit maybe his 3rd or 4th homer of the year. And those are the kind of the things Georgia Tech needed to have transpire to have a chance to win that game. Now, the difference this year, of course, for both Georgia Tech and Georgia is if you just are who you've been the whole year, you're going to be fine.
And I think that's the talk track, right? Is, we don't need to do anything more than what we've done. Just play the game hard. Good things will happen.
And Jeb Johnson beats Hernandez hard with a fastball. 3 up, 3 down for Jeb Johnson in the 4th. He is cruising here in Midtown on the road. The Mercer Bears have a 7-2 lead as we go to the 5th. They're in position to take down number 3, and Sophie Davis in position to speak with their head coach, Craig Gibson.
Coach, you're up 7-2 heading into the top of the 5th. What is working well for your team right now?
Well, obviously, Jeb's got us off to a great start. We've got a couple balls out of the ballpark. Defensively, we've been pretty solid for the most part, but a lot of baseball left, but a really good game so far.
You mentioned Jeb Johnson's performance so far. What's made him so effective?
Well, the ability to throw the ball down and keep the ball down in the strike zone, throw multiple pitches for strikes, and really first pitch strike and winning the 3-pitch war has really been crucial so far.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Well, you heard it right there. Not just throwing strikes, but at the bottom of the zone, Dusty. That's kind of been the story today.
And that's how Jeb Johnson has to pitch. When he's down there, he's really good. So much today is stuff, velocity. There's a lot of outs to be had if you can change speed and dominate that bottom third of the strike zone. And then the way that home plate umpire Justin Whitten's calling the game, he's going back to it. He's giving him that pitch, maybe a half a ball down, and Jeb Johnson's taking full advantage.
Yeah, he's not camera shy. Gives a little smile there. Swing and a miss as Barfield powers the 90-mile-an-hour fastball past Kersey. Kersey, a 2-run homer off the batter's eyes last time up against Dylan Loy. Barfield worked a scoreless 4th, the only scoreless inning for Mercer's offense all night. That one rides high.
And I really like that 0-2 pitch right there. It's a fastball. The intention there, if he swings, that's great, but it's not necessarily to strike him out. It's to set up this pitch. I'd be really surprised if we don't see a breaking ball down and away here. That'd be a perfect pair.
Little palate cleanser.
Went back to it.
On the other side, you look at what Jeb Johnson has provided. His season high in innings is 5. He's at 66 pitches. There's no reason to think there's not a little more in the tank. He hadn't pitched in over a week. First things first, Barfield with the 2-2 pitch. We were talking about during the break, trying to find opportunities, and for a guy like Jeb Johnson, even Brett Barfield to a certain degree, they're not guys who are going to get an automatic ticket. A little dribbler up the first base line. Schmidt diving for the bag, and he is unable to make the tag. Nice job of avoiding Schmidt's glove and finding the base by Braden Kersey.
Schmidt did everything he could there. Did a really nice job of, if we get another look at the way he sets up, right? So he almost overruns it to allow himself to put his foot in the ground and take a direct line for the tag. He's a really savvy defender over there. Nothing Barfield could do as a lefty. Schmidt takes the best angle he can. Just caught in between.
Now 6 hits for Mercer. That's just their second single. I beg your pardon, third single, but triple and a couple of homers have been the big damage.
Yeah.
Mercer with 2 runs in the first, 3 in the second, 2 more in the third. One thing you'll notice about Brett Barfield, Dusty, is the way he stands in the set position. He's actually got a closed stance. His right foot is in front of his left. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I think it's to create that angle. We talked about most of his matchups, especially in high leverage situations, are against lefties. And the way he spins the ball, you want to create as much angle closed as you can. Also might help him keep that front side in a little bit longer.
You ever experiment with anything like that yourself?
Yeah. The big adjustment I made, it's interesting. I was looking at Barfield just now as you asked that. I wanted to throw off that far right side of the rubber, right? I wanted that angle on a righty as much as I could to either sink it or slide it.
Called strike 3 at the knees. Well, that pitch has been called a strike all night. Justin Whitten rings up the point.
Yeah, it's been there when both sides have wanted it both ways. He's established that as it's going to be called a strike. And that's a really good pitch. That's not as low as some of we've seen tonight.
I think that was just perfect pitch. Yeah, we've probably seen pitches a ball lower called strikes. Now Ethan Buffone shows bunt. But going back to your point about wanting to pitch from that far right side of the rubber.
Yeah, I wanted for my slider. I pitched off my slider more than anything, and I wanted it to start as far at that righty as possible and kind of create that diagonal angle. A lot of sinker ballers you'll see, if you're a righty sinker baller, pitch as far on the right-hand side as the rubber for that similar angle, right? You want to try and create as much, for lack of a better term, diagonal angle to where that ball can either run or a slider. But for Barfield, he's going from the far third base side, but he is closed, right? So he's kind of across his body.
Bunt popped in the air, and that'll touch down foul.
And one thing I really like in Barfield's delivery is he creates so much leverage and strength with his front side. That front side helps, for me anyways, in the way I would teach it, and Barfield does a great job. That front side is kind of like the rudder of your boat, you know, or the scope of your gun, to where I wanted to keep that on the target as long as possible, and that would help me work over the ball and create a little bit of leverage. I think he does a really good job with that.
Yeah, if you have that line set properly, the rest is pretty easy. Just throw, right?
When you're going right, yeah. When you're pitching well, it feels that way. When it's going sideways, it's like, oh, what else is going?
The Pitt's heads are falling off. 1-1. And Buffone stabs at it, bunts it foul.
Interesting. So they're really committed to the sac bunt here with Graziano on deck. I think the thought is, to your point we've made all game, Craig Gibson knows what this offense is capable of. Any run you can get, whether you manufacture it, whether you move them over, is valuable, especially as you get into the back half here.
They keep it on with 2 strikes. So Graziano, the Georgia Tech transfer, waiting on deck.
And with a left-handed pitcher, Wiley, who's fallen off to the third base side, and Vincula's playing deep and a little bit shaded to second base, if you can push it past the pitcher and force Vincula to field it, you have a really good chance to beat it out. If you can get it past the pitcher where the first baseman can't field it and force the second baseman to, you don't want to necessarily try that. You know, you get one chance at that early in the count. Once you foul off the first one, now it's more of a traditional sacrifice.
Stakes get even higher in a 2-strike count. You got to keep it fair.
See if they keep it on.
They did not. 2-2.
That pitch right there, Wiley, to your point earlier this at bat, or last at bat when they struck out LaPointe, that's closer to what we've seen be called a strike even tonight.
Two from Barfield. Wave and a miss with a high heat. Back-to-back strikeouts for the Yellow Jacket lefty.
And that's an at-bat that's going to drive Coach Gibson crazy. Try to put the sac bunt on, can't put it in play, and then expanding the zone for Chase with 2 strikes. Nice job by Barfield.
Here you can see Ethan Buffone saying, darn it, as the Yellow Jackets are going to flip outfielders here. Mid-inning, you don't see that very often. Parker Brocious is going to go to left, or beg your pardon, to right, and Will Baker's going to go to left. I'll be honest with you, part of me wonders this might be a sun consideration. I think Parker's a little more comfortable. Not that anyone's really comfortable in the sun, but Parker's got a lot more experience out there at this time of night.
You're right.
Yeah, he struggled with it, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. And of course, Will Baker did have a sun snafu, we'll call it, this past weekend against Duke.
Yeah, you didn't see any argument made from Will Baker. He's like, happy to do it. Get me over here in the shade. To be fair, kind of a converted outfielder. Signed and came up as an infielder, but his bats needed to be in the lineup, so they found a spot for him. Brocious more of the traditional outfielder and does a good job any spot you put him. I think a lot of teams would love to be able to pencil him in center field. He just happens to be on the same team as Drew Burris.
Yep. 2-0 and Michael Graziano. Speaking of center fielders having trouble finding time with Drew Burris. Graziano rakes one into left field. That's a base hit. A little 2-out knock. That'll turn the lineup card over, and Mercer in position again to add on. In fact, Mercer tonight, Dusty, is 2 for 7, already 7 at bats with the runners in scoring position. Now Logan Shepard's 2 for 3 with a couple of base hits.
And you look at the game, the way the game's unfolding here, have to imagine if Shepard can pass it on to Katz, that's a situation that Craig Gibson would obviously prefer and love to see. I'm not sure you'll see Barfield face Katz with that matchup if it gets to that point.
2-0. Barfield over 30 pitches now. And for the most part this season, Dusty, he's kind of been a one-inning guy. Getting a little stretched out here. The Jackets do have some action in the bullpen. Justin Shattuck. You
may have made a good point right there, Wiley. This is maybe, I don't have the stats in front of me, maybe the longest outing he's had all year as far as pitch count. Now north of 30, maybe fatigue setting in, losing his command a little bit.
Strike one at the bottom of the zone. And we've seen that pitch called that way. For Barfield, he had not exceeded 30 pitches until his last outing, Dusty. He had 48 against Xavier 10 days ago. So
over 3 innings, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
High ball 4. And that'll load the bases. A little 2-out rally brewing here for the Bears.
That's a really good job by Shepard, not giving in, and now you've set the table for probably your best hitter, bases loaded, opportunity to bust this thing open.
No movement from the Yellow Jacket dugout. And now comes Matt Taylor for a mound visit. This has one of those feelings of this might be your last hitter. If you see Matt Taylor come out, you know you're not going to get a pitching change. At least haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, James Ramsey usually makes the calls to the pen. Yeah, maybe a little bit of game plan, you know, checking in to see what do you feel comfortable with. Looks like the fastball is getting away from you a little bit.
You made the point earlier about that changeup against righties.
Yeah.
Wonder if he might try and go there.
Yeah, you know, that's the risk, right? I think it would be a really good pitch in this situation. You never want to get beat with your third pitch, but command's getting away from him a little bit. We've seen him pitch off his fastball more and more as this season's gone on. When you don't have that, backs you into a corner. So the changeup would be good. Can you execute it down in the zone?
A well-executed changeup is a great pitch in this situation. A poorly executed changeup, a little dangerous, especially to Chris Katz. And a fastball in for a strike.
Middle of the plate, too. I'm surprised that Katz is a take there. I wonder, again, if his approach has changed or if he's looking for spin early in the count. Seemed like a pretty good pitch to swing at.
Swings at that one is late. 0-2, back-to-back fastballs. That one a little higher.
Yeah. So now you've opened it up, right? I don't think you'll see changeup just because it's the third pitch.
Yep.
Plus, he was a little late on that fastball. That might be doing him a favor. Maybe stay hard and up again. See if you can elicit a swing.
0-2. Spoiled. Katz was able to fight off that high heater. Does that swing change your calculus?
It's a pretty good job by Katz, right? I think, you know, he's made the decision. He's going to eliminate the stride or very little stride. He's going to stay short with his swing. He let that ball get so deep, and his hands are still good enough to foul it off. Maybe I'd bounce one here.
That time Katz lays off the high fastball. So nothing but heaters so far against Mercer's top hitter, Chris Katz. Leads the team with 63 RBI. Bases loaded. Pitch number 40 coming for Barfield. Swing and a fly ball lifted in the air to left, but playable for Baker. And Baker has a drop in front of him. It's going to be a 2-run double for Chris Katz. Looked like Will Baker was going back on it, then suddenly that ball falling faster than he expected. And it's a 2-run double for Chris Katz. What a big moment as he is able to adjust to the breaking ball.
Yeah, breaking ball up in the zone. I think if you ask Barfield, he's not trying to leave it right there. Either way, makes a pitch. To your point, the ball seems like the ball always finds when there's a switch made like that, the ball finds you immediately. Just a few moments ago, Brocious was out in left field, probably a little better defender and more comfortable out there. I think Baker took a few steps back, thinking it was hit much better than it was.
The lead is back to 7. And now Eli Stevens, who has 1 2-run homer already today. It's a chance for another 2-run base hit here. At the knees, 0-2. 2 strike, 2 out, 2-run double. Feels like one of those moments that can define a win or a loss. You get that hit, it can be a backbreaker for one side and a real gust of wind in the sails of the other. And that was the first non-fastball that Katz saw in that at bat.
Just good 2-strike approach. We saw him foul off those fastballs up, let it get deep.
And at some point with a guy like that, he's not going to be behind the fastball forever, right?
Yeah.
Once you show him a few of those in a row, he starts to get that timing right, so you want to get off it, right?
I don't think that's the wrong pitch call at all. Maybe a little better execution, but either way, got him off the end. Just a tough read out there by Will Baker. I think he would love to have that one back.
Yeah, to your credit, they got the contact they wanted, but it fell in. This one well struck, deep to left. And out of here. Eli Stevens has gone yard for the 2nd time tonight, and now Mercer leads by double digits.
And Wiley, if you give good offenses a chance, I know that's not going to go down as an error against Will Baker in left field, but it did extend the inning a little bit. And when you give him freebies or you give him second chances, this Mercer offense is so lethal. And we've seen Eli Stevens now leave the ballpark twice, both opposite field, one more center. But this was just a fastball out over the plate, not a terrible pitch. Look how deep he's hitting that ball. You know, he's letting it travel so deep, and he's got so much length and strength in the swing. Really nice job there by Eli Stevens.
And that'll do it for Brett Barfield. 1 strike away from 2 scoreless innings. Instead, he surrenders 5 here in the 5th, and now Justin Shattuck will take them out. Mercer with a 12-2 lead over the Yellow Jackets here in Midtown Atlanta. Justin Shattuck, perhaps best described as the X factor on this Georgia Tech pitching staff, Dusty.
100%. Yeah, as far as stuff goes and arm talent, whatever you want to call it, he's the best they got. Fastball, when he's going good, we've seen it upper 90s. Pretty comfortably pitches in the mid 90s. The numbers aren't reflective of the stuff that he has, and I think that's the big next step. I mean, he's punched out 36 guys over 21 2/3, so that tells you what you need to know. Hasn't walked, he walked more than you like, but it's not like it's a terrible command problem. It's just, how can I be more consistent in the zone with that power stuff? And guys that you're looking to step up as you get to the postseason, he's likely number one on their list.
Titan Kamaka takes a first pitch strike. The highlight of the season so far for Shattuck was brilliant relief work up in Chapel Hill. And you could see 96, boy, and you want to talk about having to make an in-game adjustment if you're a Mercer hitter.
Yep.
Seen Dylan Loy and Brett Barfield fastballs around 89, 90, and then here's 96, 97 from the right side. And he got him with the breaking ball. So a 3-pitch carving from Justin Shattuck, but Mercer piles on 5 in the 5th, including Eli Stevens, his second bomb of the night. It is all Mercer, middle of the 5th. Eli Stevens, he has been the story tonight out of Houston County High School. We thought it was going to be his high school teammate Drew Burris making noise tonight, but instead it is the sophomore Eli Stevens with those 2 homers tonight. He now has 19 on the year, Dusty, and they have been impressive shots, both to the wide side of the field.
Yeah, the swing, the first homer was maybe the most impressive swing, just because it was so pretty and he got underneath it. It had that true home run trajectory. That last one was just strength. Let it get so deep and then just rifled it out to left.
And now 2-0 on Parker Brocious. We should have given a heads up to Ken Schmidt and Carson Kurse that we were going to run that package, because that felt a little bit like deja vu back in high school when Houston County took down Pope High School in the state championship 3 years ago. Look who was on the field that day. You've got Ken Schmidt, Carson Kurse on the Pope side. By the way, they had won state the year prior. And then on the other end, you had Drew Burris and Eli Stevens for Houston County.
Both powerhouses.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And it's funny that comes up because, remember, I was talking to Ken Schmidt before the game, first baseman for Georgia Tech, and asked him, you know, this type of run that this Yellow Jacket team has been on, winning 42 of your first 50. Have you ever experienced anything like that at a baseball field? It says it reminded me a lot of our junior year of high school. We started 8-6. In fact, it was Parker Brocious at Lambert High School who gave them that 6th loss. Brocious in a full count here. And after that, they didn't lose again.
Ran the table.
Yep. And Brocious scoops one in the air, shallow right center, tough play. It's off the glove of Buffon and it falls. Leadoff man on for Georgia Tech.
Tough play by Buffon there. I think last second he started feeling and hearing a little footsteps from Stevens out in right field, you'll see he does a good job, a good angle, and then the last second kind of dovetails right there. As an infielder, you want to keep that ball close to your frame as you're running it down. When your hands start to get wide, you lose that eyesight. It becomes a lot more difficult.
And ball one on Carson Curse. He is 0 for 2 tonight. He has tied the single season record for doubles here at Georgia Tech with 27. Chance to set a new record here. And Jeb Johnson, who has been masterful so far, begins his third trip through the order. One-0. And we mentioned it last time Drew Burress came up, but if there was ever someone you could anticipate to break the school home run record, I'm not sure there is anybody like that, but Drew might have been that guy.
Right.
Carson Curse would not have been the pick coming in 3 years ago as a guy who could break a record like the doubles record and be such a critical offensive piece for Georgia Tech. So the 1-1 is a chopper on 2 twin hops. A double play. That erases the Parker Brocious leadoff single. Second double play. That Mercer's turn tonight.
And Jeb Johnson just continues to make pitches when he has to. I mean, nothing fancy. Good two-seamer, middle of the plate, inviting that contact. Another tailor-made candy hop, making it easy for his defense.
And now Drew Burress with another chance at the record here. 57 career home runs, tied with Jason Varitek. Takes low ball one.
I think the craziest stat that you pointed out last at bat was Varitek had 4 seasons.
Yep.
Burress is chasing him down in only 3.
Burress lifts the ball deep right field. This will not have enough on the track. Eli Stevens, his old high school teammate, records the final out of the inning. Maybe it's Eli's night tonight. It certainly has been Mercer so far. 12-2 Bears after 5. The Mercer Bears have had their way with the number 3 Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets through 5 innings. And if they're the one of the first 4 teams out by the D1 baseball projection, D1 baseball won't put a projection out tomorrow, but if they did, I think they'd be part of that group that's in.
100%. And I see why. I mean, to me, this is a squad that you look at their resume and then you see them tonight, they look like a postseason team.
Those are the other teams who are in the mix for those final spots. Driven in the air to right field. Backham over the head of Brocious and off the top of the wall. It is a long single for Brant Backham to lead off the 6th inning. They move Baker back over there. Go figure. I'll tell you, that guy can't get away from the ball right now.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking too. Look at this swing. Challenge fastball, middle. Bacham just going that way with it, and that got out to that wall in a hurry. No chance at a double.
And now Braden Kersey. Reached in all 3 plate appearances tonight. An intentional walk, 2-run homer, and then a base hit. But Dusty, in your 4 years at Georgia Tech, you kind of had a little bit of everything where you were part of a team that cruised into the NCAA tournament, a surefire host your freshman year. And then you were part of a couple of magical runs in conference tournaments. 2012, the next year, you guys had to win it to get in.
Yeah.
Your senior year, they didn't have to win it, but certainly needed to win a few games.
A good showing for sure.
What is it like when you're fighting for that spot? I know we're not in a conference tournament, but in some ways, Mercer's playing some playoff baseball already.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously Coach Gibbs can say what he wants, and the guys can say what they want, but you know it's at stake. You know, you see the numbers, you see the publications that roll out, who's the last 4 in, first 4 out. And it's just, I think what you try and do is just isolate it to a game at a time, right? And you put together a couple good ones. The dangerous part is when you start looking ahead and saying, okay, if we win the next 3, then it becomes a way bigger task.
Shattuck carves up Kersey. But what is it like, especially with you're in that spot and you start winning?
Yeah, it's kind of addictive, right? It's like it's because the expectations maybe are, whether you have to do it to get in or not, but the expectations are probably pretty low. You sort of adopt that us against the world mentality, and once you get on a heater, you can keep it rolling and like you said, catch some magic.
Caden Spivey's going to come in and relieve Justin Shattuck. We'll talk more about Dusty Isaac's addiction when we come back. Senior out of Vidalia, Georgia, Caden Spivey is on in relief. Mercer, 12 runs in the first 5 innings against the Yellow Jackets. They've slugged 3 homers. And again, this could be a critical win when it comes to their NCAA tournament. Obviously for the Yellow Jackets, it won't affect their resume all that much. But regardless, you want to find a way to see if you can climb back into this thing. Right now you need Caden Spivey to help you out a little bit. And Spivey's a guy who had a lot of success last year. In fact, around April, he was a pretty key part of the weekend rotation. Just feels like he hasn't quite found his stride here in 2026.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag, and it's sort of an enigma for me because the stuff's gotten better over the last year and a half. Fastball's low to mid-90s, has a couple different breaking balls, but for whatever reason, he doesn't seem like he's been able to get in that rhythm or find his footing. And, a couple bad ones skews the numbers a little bit. But again, we talk about as we flip into and look at the postseason and maybe trying to have to win your way through either the conference tournament or, the regional. Spivey's probably armed number 4, 5, 6 in that range, to where you may need to go to him. So that's why this is, in a sense, kind of an important outing for him. See if you can get some momentum, put together something clean.
And you're talking arm 4, 5, 6 out of the bullpen.
Right. Yes. Correct. Yeah. That's what it's going to require if you get behind the 8 ball.
Dylan LaPointe 0 for 3 today. Skied in the air to right. Will Baker finally with an easier chance makes the play. 2 down. And if you don't know or need a refresher, regional format, of course, double elimination. There's kind of 2 ways to get through it. You can win 3 straight.
Yep. The preferred method.
Considerably easier method. And if you win those first 2, you just got to go split the next 2.
Yeah.
However, if you lose one of those first 2, things get pretty hard pretty quick. Pitch down and away, 1-0. If you lose one of those first 2, it requires you to sweep a doubleheader on the 3rd day and then win another game on that Monday. And you've already played 2 games. Slow roller. Schmidt's got it. Spivey covers. And that ends the 6th. So Caden Spivey comes in, gets his 2 men. We go to the home half of the 6th now. Mercer 12, Georgia Tech 2.
The epicenter of college baseball. Teams holding their breath for a chance to dogpile in America's heartland. It's the NCAA Baseball Selection Show with watch parties all over the country. Let the road to Omaha begin.
Less than 2 weeks away as Jared Advincula takes a called strike from Jeb Johnson. Selection Monday. Fire up the grills for Memorial Day hot dogs and tune in. And a ground ball poked past Bockham down the left field line. Advincula dashes into second, a lead-off double. And that is base hit number 92 on the year for Jared Advincula. Last time a Yellow Jacket had that many hits in the regular season, Dusty Isaacs was playing.
I refuse. I don't know who it was.
I can't imagine who might have had those hits. Probably one of those guys you just kind of forget about pretty quickly, huh?
Yes, but I try to.
Old buddy Kyle Wren.
That's right.
Yep.
Way to go, Kyle.
Kyle Wren, called strike there on Vaughn Lackey.
So top of mind for all of us.
It's funny, too, because he talks about...
He does talk about it.
Yes, he does. Yes. Was it that year, or was it his... I guess it must have been his freshman year when he had over 100 hits?
Probably his freshman year. It was insane. But kind of a similar player to Advincula.
Yeah.
I don't just say this to poke fun at Avicula maybe a little bit more juice at the plate, but the way they use the whole field and with 2 strikes, how tough they are, they're not afraid to get short and use the 6-hole. You know, when I was playing with Kyle Wren, if he made the shortstop backhand the ball, he was safe, and he knew that. So with 2 strikes, he would shorten up, use the opposite side.
And a laser into center field from Von Lackey. Here comes Avicula, and it gets through Graziano, and now Lackey's off to second. He's going to head to third, and he will get there standing up. An RBI for Von Lackey. And he ends up at third base. Long way to go for the Yellow Jackets, but that's a step.
And I think the play at the plate had Graziano maybe pull his eyes up. No, not at all. I was wondering if maybe he ran through that trying. Looks like he had his feet set and it just squirmed through. Sometimes the way they cut the grass, right? This is going to sound crazy, but it's the honest truth. When they cut the grass in a pattern, that ball will actually snake on you when it's hit up the middle like that and backspun. And I'm wondering if that contributed to Graziano having a little bit of problems with it.
You know, last time I was down at batting practice a couple weeks ago, Dusty, you saw the Yellow Jacket hitters were all talking about it. They had hit a ground ball to the right side, and everybody say, oh, watch this one, it's going to snake.
And sometimes, depending on the pattern of the grass, that snake can be pretty big, or the speed contributes. To the naked eye, it looks like just a simple grounder, but that ball's moving side to side pretty good.
A couple of righties up for Mercer. You've got Reed Fagerstrom and Lawson Cole as well. Jeb Johnson at 82 pitches.
Good change up there. Yeah, I think, you know, the scoreboard is going to help Coach Gibson determine this game and navigate it. I think with a 12-3 lead, you'd love to get Johnson through the 6th frame.
Ground ball, roll to the right side. This will get the run in, but I think Jeb Johnson more than happy to take the out and clear the bases. So an RBI for Will Baker. And by the way, that will be scored a single and then an error that gets Lackey 2 bases by Graziano. So currently an unearned run. But Jeb Johnson, 84 pitches, and Dusty, I think anyone who has followed baseball for a long time like yourself, you can appreciate what he has accomplished tonight. And doing it with stuff that is not going to get a lot of professional analytic models all that excited.
Yeah, it's the old school, change speeds, move it in, move it up, move it out. And, you know, it's worked. Bobby Miranda will appreciate it. The joke is it's worked for 100 years, right? And it'll probably work for 100 more. There's another one, right on right changeup. And he's a guy we were talking about that the more you watch him pitch, the more you like him. It may not jump out to you in 1 inning stints, but to navigate this lineup through what's nearly 6 full frames, hold him to 4 runs, I think that's more than what Craig Gibson would have asked for.
Zuckerman takes low, a ball and 2 strikes. You know, entering tonight, it felt like his season highlight was probably that start against Oregon State back in late March. He went 5 innings, gave up 1 unearned run. And he's been on the weekend most of the year for Mercer. As that breaking ball touched too low, but getting the start here tonight, and he has put Mercer in spectacular position along with some help from the offense, namely Eli Stevens, who's hit 2 homers tonight.
And when Sophie was able to grab Coach Gibson's ear, I think he said it exactly right. The ability to keep the ball down consistently, change speeds off that same tunnel and the same plane has given Georgia Tech some trouble tonight.
3-2. Ball 4. So 1 out walk to Ryan Zuckerman. Just the 2nd walk Georgia Tech has drawn tonight. You're talking about changing speeds. I was having a conversation with a major league pitcher a couple weeks ago. He was talking about there's so much focused on east and west, north and south. It was his contention that most often hitters are beat front to back.
Yeah.
In other words, they're out in front or they're behind. It's more of a timing issue than it is the sure break.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's wrong, you know, and like that's I think that's what's hidden a little bit in all the data and everything. You can still quantify it, don't get me wrong, but the ability to read swings, right, and see, hey, this guy's on my fastball, this guy's really late, is becoming a little bit of a lost art. So that's going to be important, you know, as they hand it off here, the new guy coming in and the fresh arm, can they continue to keep them off balance and change the speed the way you were talking about, Wiley? Really good job by Jeb Johnson.
5 1/3. He leaves with an 8-run lead. The question now, can the bullpen hold him? Johnson, he's going to sleep well tonight. Not only did he throw 90 pitches, but he held one of the best offenses, if not the best, in all of college baseball, to just 3 earned runs over 5 1/3 innings. Senior righty realized, I got to hustle up here. I'm still in the field of play as things are getting started. Tell you what, there's feeling confident, have a little swag, and then it's like, you know what? I'm
going to stay out here longer.
I can't be that relaxed. So Kent Schmidt in a 1-0 count now. And Lawson Cole is on the mound. And Dusty, it's an 8-run game. We're here in the bottom of the 6th, and I can promise you, no one in that Yellow Jacket dugout thinks this game is over. And it's no different on that Mercer side.
Yep. And I think that's why they were trying to get Johnson through this 6th inning to shorten the game in the back end, just try and pick up the additional 3 frames. As you mentioned, every out counts, and especially when guys start to get on base.
So Lawson Cole, ERA just over 4, which in today's day and age is impressive. So drops a breaking ball in for a strike. And you look at the strikeout numbers, they're not going to wow you. 17 strikeouts, a little over 24 innings. Only 8 walks, though. Two-two bouncer out to second. Buffon on to second. The turn not in time. They get the lead runner to force Zuckerman. There's 2 away here in the 6th. Hernandez takes strike 1. And Dusty, you look at this lineup for Georgia Tech, and all 9 hitters are draft eligible. You add in Drew Rogers, the backup catcher, he too draft eligible. And the question becomes, what are you going to have next year? And I don't think that's a question anybody really needs to worry about until this season's over, because there's still a lot at stake and a lot to accomplish if you're a Yellow Jacket baseball fan. But Alex Hernandez, as a draft eligible sophomore, that calculus a little different. You've got that extra year of leverage if you come back next year. As he sends one on the ground sharply, the second, Buffon will take it himself. But regardless, he's been a valuable piece for the Yellow Jackets here in 2026. 6 innings in the books. Lawson Cole gets the Bears out of the 6th. As the season unfolds, the longer the days get as we creep into summer here in Midtown Atlanta. A gorgeous night for baseball. And for the Mercer Bears, they are poised for a pretty good drive down to Macon as we get this top of the 7th inning going. We want to send it down to Sophie Davis, who is joined by a special guest.
Hey guys, I'm here with Von Lackey's head coach from high school at Collins Hill. Coach, how cool is it to see Von Lackey's success here at Tech as his high school coach?
Phenomenal. We kind of had the feeling this was going to happen for him early. He was an absolute workaholic, great teammate, great dugout guy, high character, just lives, eats, and breathes baseball all the time. And he's left that legacy with our guys. Obviously, we've got about 50 of our players here. We have 96 people here from our community to support him in his last game. It's pretty crazy, yeah.
You talked a little bit about his legacy. What type of legacy did he leave at Collins Hill? His team's here, 90 people you said. What is that legacy?
Well, we have a mantra with our team that's called, we basically call it being a man built for others. And that's what we go out in the community and do a lot of community work with our special needs baseball program in the area. We do a lot of those things and a lot about being a selfless person all the time. And he bought into that right from the beginning and has literally passed that down. And you can see the growth in that part of our program constantly every year. And he literally was the first guy to buy into that kind of thing.
So he's had a lot of eyes on him this season, especially that game where he played 8 different positions. Did he do anything like that in high school, or were you not surprised?
No, ma'am. If I'd had a catcher somewhere in the vicinity of where he is, obviously he's a dude, but he probably could have played shortstop for us, center field, wherever. When we were taking BP, he was never sitting on the side or doing anything other than getting work at other spots. He played short, center field, third. He played everywhere. His senior year, we actually played him at shortstop in a non-region game. And after the game, he came over and said, "Coach, how was that? How was that? Can I do that again?" That kind of thing. He's just one of those guys. Baseball is his thing, and he doesn't care where he's playing, period.
Awesome. Well, thanks for talking, Coach. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Sophie. How cool is that? It's expected to be Von's final home regular season game. He got his first real Division I scholarship offer as a senior in the spring at Collins Hill High School. But, you heard Coach Linnell talk about it. They felt like he had a chance to be a special player, although he was a late bloomer. And you look at Kylie McDaniel of ESPN's mock draft from about a month ago. They had him going 3rd overall to the Minnesota Twins, as Brocious makes the catch for out number 2. That is quite a story.
Yeah, and by all accounts, anyone you talk to around the program or anyone that's really involved say he's an even better guy, right? And the teammate that he is, that's kind of the cherry on top. If you're going to be drafted that high, which by all reports and all mock drafts, they all have him up there, you have to check a lot of boxes, and he certainly does. And just a rare athlete, like you said, a late bloomer, seems to be getting better. And I think that's kind of the hope. His best ball is still ahead of him as he learns, the offensive side especially. It's been a really cool story to follow.
Chris Katz 1 for 3 tonight with a couple of runs driven in, a couple runs scored. The highest draft pick in Georgia Tech's school history is Joey Bart. He was taken 2nd overall in 2018. It doesn't sound, at least right now, like Von's in consideration for those top 2 spots, but another top 5 pick for Georgia Tech. You think of guys before him: Joey Bart, 2nd overall. Matt Wieters was 5th. It's Chris Katz. Tomahawks this one into the air to center to what we expect to be another first-rounder, Drew Burris. It's time to stretch here in Midtown Atlanta. Mercer a 12-4 lead. Canes. Take your shirt off.
Tarps off.
Tarps off. Guns out.
They're having fun.
Mercer with a 12-4 lead. They've been having some fun tonight against the number 3 team in the country. Yellow Jackets are 30-3 here at McNeese Baseball Park this year. Those 3 losses, only one of them came against a conference opponent. That was Virginia Tech on the opening weekend of ACC play. Georgia Tech went on to sweep the next 4 ACC home series. Barocious takes a pitch in the outside corner, 0-2. The other 3 losses midweek against Georgia State. The other 2 losses, and Friday night against Xavier a couple weeks back. Parker Brocious high and deep to left. Katz isn't going to bother. That ball is crushed off the top of the Brock. Parker Brocious in full bloom as a senior.
And that ball was crushed. Wiley gets a breaking ball right in the hitter's zone. Like you mentioned, off the Brock building. Pretty swing. You know what? He's really turned himself into a really solid player, Wiley. We talked about it earlier, how a lot of programs would love to be able to pencil him in every day. He's done a lot of little things over the years, and now getting a chance to spread his wings a little bit and play every day. And he's making that decision by James Ramsey look really good.
And perhaps trying to steal a little bit of Carson Curse and Drew Burris's thunder here. Curse tied for the school record with 27 doubles. Takes a called strike 2. He is 0 for 3 tonight, trying to pass Jay Payton tonight, who had 27 doubles in 1994. 0-2, ground ball, backhand chance. Kamaka. And Curse is safe at first. They say Shepard was off the bag and missed the swipe tag. And a little something coming now, perhaps, for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Carson Curse putting the pressure on there. Kamaka does everything right, but it's a much further throw than it appears. And anytime you go backhand in the 6 hole, they have a chance for that ball to run up the first base line, what you saw right there. I'm not sure. Shepard maybe striding a little bit early, cutting himself off. Either way, Carson Curse is on first base.
On the first visit tonight from Cade McClure. See, we'll go talk things over here with Cole Lawson. Cade McClure, first-year pitching coach for Mercer, and that was a job that opened in November when Tanner Gordon, who had been Mercer's pitching coach, took a job in professional baseball with the Mariners. And Coach Craig Gibson mentioned how difficult that was, trying to fill that spot. And this time, Cade McClure, he's going to make the change himself. So Drew Burris with 57 career home runs, tied with Jason Varitek. And if he wants to hit number 58 right here, it'll be off of Reed Fagerston, the redshirt senior, coming in. years ago, Georgia Tech made their first ever trip to the College World Series in Omaha, and Jason Varitek clearing the light tower at Rosenblatt Stadium. One of 17 home runs he hit that season. And there's his jersey on the wall in right field, joined by other greats. Mark Teixeira, of course, legendary coach Jim Luck, and Danny Hall 17 out there as well. But you can see it, J.J. Thomas, he hit 56 in his 3 seasons, 95 to 97. Varitek 57 in his 4. And Drew Burress, who has hit a homer in each of his last 4 games, with a chance to set new Georgia Tech history. The captain is in the box. And he takes high, ball 1 from Reed Fagerstrom. Since Drew arrived on campus, it felt like it was his destiny to rewrite the record book for the Yellow Jackets, and he has delivered. One more big swing will get it done. He's in a 2-0 count. We mentioned Drew from Middle Georgia. Warner Robins, Houston County High School. His father, Andy, knows Mercer head coach Craig Gibson well. They spoke yesterday, and Coach Gibson said, "We're going to pitch to him, don't worry." And so far, they've done that tonight. Drew is 2 for 3. Hardest hit ball he may have had. Well, that 112-mile-per-hour single, but he also drove one well to right. In the driver's seat, 2-0. 3-0. Dusty?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Do you dare give him the red light? I don't think so.
No, I think it's you may see his biggest swing of the night right here if he gets something he thinks he can do some damage on. Be interested to see if they have a fastball.
A high strike, 3-1. History on the line. Oh, that was a daddy hack.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. That's usually don't sneak the cheese past the mouse. Fastball, 89, middle. Big cut by Burris. Just missed it.
Some say if you throw it 3-1, you'll throw it 3-2. Hooked foul.
And you said it, Wiley, the most impressive part is somehow he's managed to outperform the expectations that were so high from the beginning. It's what a fun career it's been to follow. Crazy.
Another payoff pitch. Ball 4. And Burris is aboard for the 3rd time tonight. And in the context of the ball game, Dusty, 3 straight have reached here in the 7th. The Yellow Jackets trailing by 7. But for Mercer, getting 9 more outs against this offense is still a big lift.
Yes. Yeah, it is a 7-run lead. That's a great reset. I think if you're Mercer, you're doing the same thing, trying to keep the perspective. But it does feel, just always feels like Georgia Tech's one swing away from it being really close again.
That one pops out of the hand, ball 1. Fagerstrom out of Noonan, Georgia, Northgate High School. Bouncer in the hole, tough play. Kamaka has one chance, he goes to first, he's late. And the top of the order has loaded the bases, and there's nobody out.
And that is how you lead the country in base hits, Wiley. He's so good with the bat and the control. We were just talking about it last at bat. If you make that shortstop backhand it, you got a chance. And you see it yet again with Jaron Avicta.
And now Vaughn Lackey with 96 of his closest friends in that Collins Hill section at the plate. Ball 1. They are proud of number 25 up at the hill. There's an arm throwing for Mercer. A right-hander trying to get hot. Lackey with a rocket towards the left field corner. Kearse scores. Here comes Burris. It's a 2-run double, and we've got a ball game here in Midtown.
And all year, Wiley, Georgia Tech's best players seem to play their best in the biggest moments. Nothing different right there from Von Lackey. Works himself into a hitter's count, gets a fastball center cut, absolutely buggy whips it down that left field line. These hitters, this lineup, if you can get, they do such a good job of working into advantage counts to where they can sell out on a fastball and they rarely miss it.
There you can see his head coach, Brian Linnell. Somebody's FaceTiming in. Still nobody out. Here's Will Baker. Fagerstrom, of any Mercer pitcher with more than 5 innings, has the lowest ERA. 23 1/3, giving up just 16 hits. Less than a month ago, that 10-run comeback against Wake Forest. How about the energy in this ballpark right now?
You can feel it, can't you?
Infield playing back for Mercer. They're desperate to trade anything for an out right now.
I think they'll happily do that. And to your point, still a 5-run game. I know it feels like it's squeezing in on them a little bit, but you're trying to record 9 more outs. How quick can you get them?
2-2 scooped in the air, slicing down the line and fair, and one hop into the bullpen. It'll be a 2-run automatic double for Will Baker, and it is 12-9.
How about that swing? 2 strikes. We've seen it all year with this offense. They stay short. He lets it get deep. He just throws his hands at it. Goes with the pitch. Ball's out over the plate, just fillets it out to left field, is able to get the barrel to it. Perfect swing in that situation.
That's a lefty flop shot that
Yes.
Phil Mickelson would be proud of.
Yes, 100%. We got a 3-run game, Wiley.
And Mercer forced to go back to the bullpen. And Yellow Jacket fans roaring. Junior right-hander A native son of Macon, Georgia, facing Ryan Zuckerman, Georgia Tech's leading home run hitter with 20 this year. The Yellow Jackets have already scored 5 runs in this inning. They've done it on 4 hits, a walk, and an error. Look at the numbers on Garnett. 23 appearances. This is his 24th, which is the team lead. All out of the bullpen. A lot of strikeouts. 36 in 26-plus innings. And a ground ball rolled to the left side. Play made by Kamako. 1 out, and head coach James Ramsey is furious at third base umpire Craig Barron. Furious. That might have been a pitch clock issue. And now James Ramsey is beckoning the home plate umpire Justin Whitten. What do you think this is about, Dusty? Is this a pitch clock issue, a balk issue?
He saw something clearly.
Look at that vein popping out of James Ramsey's throat.
This is about as animated as you're going to see him.
I'm with you. I've never seen him this fired up.
I don't know if there was a flinch from the pitcher or what, but you might be right, Wiley. It might be pitch clock. Take a look here.
And nothing tells you there anything with the delivery. Again, you saw James Ramsey. He was pointing towards the home plate umpire, which to me made me feel like he was pointing towards the pitch clock behind the home plate umpire.
I don't know if Zuckerman tried to perhaps call time. It wasn't granted. I don't know. I didn't see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things in which James Ramsey was pointing the direction at. If you're pointing to home plate, you got the hitter perhaps calling for time, pitch clock issue, talking to home plate umpire. I don't know what it was. We've been told the pitch clock actually still had some time left on it, so we don't think it was that. Either way, 1 out. Baker stands pat at second. How does this affect you if you're on the mound? You just got an out. You see Georgia Tech kind of fired up. In some ways, I feel like the crowd is kind of quieted down.
Yeah, for now, right? Now, it kind of did settle the game a little bit. You got the 1 out. That was the big one you've been looking for, having a hard time to get it recently. You know, I think the other side of that is I think there's a school of thought or maybe a play to be had by James Ramsey. Hasn't had an ejection all year. Has an opportunity to fire the boys up a little bit.
Three and 0. Kent Schmidt, team leader in walks. And there is ball 4. So Kent Schmidt is aboard. 7 of the first 8 Yellow Jackets have reached here in the bottom of the 7th. And let's take a look back. We think we found it, Dusty. This is what had Coach Ramsey so upset. So take a look. Far left, you see him calling out. You think he's calling for time there?
You know, we see him do that a lot. We see him take a lot of mid-bat timeouts. That's part of his philosophy from the offensive side of the ball. I think he thought he called it before that pitch was delivered. Ultimately, the result is probably contributing to the frustration.
Another ball from Garnett.
But he got his money's worth, and sometimes that'll tell you maybe that, you know, it's hard to speculate, right? But maybe he had a case to be made because, you know, he, like I said, pretty animated and pretty extended. But either way, you were just talking about how it felt like the stadium had quieted down a little bit. That 4-pitch walk has it back ignited.
The tie and run is at the plate regardless. The 1-0 to Alex Hernandez. 2-0.
Garnett's searching for it. Seems like it's speeding up on him a little bit. And this is a leverage guy they use, right? So it's a little surprising to see.
6 straight balls out of the strike zone. There's a strike. Alex Hernandez did not like the call.
A nice job by LaPointe presenting that as a strike. It looked like it might have been a half a ball or even a full ball off the plate. And that's not one you usually get when you have a hard time establishing the strike zone.
2-1. Up and in. 3 balls and a strike. A deep breath from Hernandez. A tying run at the plate. Hard hit grounder to short. Kamaka, Buffon to first, and Mercer with a critical double play preserves the lead. But it has been shrunk considerably. A 5-run bottom of the 7th. Georgia Tech is back in this game. Mercer with a 12-9 lead here in the top of the 8th. It was 12-2 going to the bottom of the 6th. And there's a look at what happened in the 7th. Leadoff homer from Parker Brocious. Carson Kirch reaches on an error. And then things really begin to snowball. The walk to Burris. And those 2 big swings in particular from Vaughn Lackey and Will Baker. Those are the ones that made Mercer pay.
But how about Garnett pitching out of that?
Yeah.
Huge pitch and a hitter's count.
Rifled in the air to right, and that ball is going to one-hop the wall. And it'll be a single for Eli Stevens. And I think Georgia Tech is relieved that's all it is, given what he's done tonight. Already 2 homers. And that was another well-struck ball. I think all 5 balls he put in play have been bullets.
Yeah, how impressive is he? Using the entire field. We've seen him go out to left, out to center, off the wall and right. Just a curveball up middle of the zone again. 106 off the bat. I think it had some top spin. Almost hard to travel. If you would have backspun it is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, back pick from Lackey. Titan Kamaka at the plate. Hard hit grounder in the hole. Kerr circles around it. Jump throw on the money. What a play.
Yeah, he makes that look way too easy. the reason he's able to make that play so quickly is the way he gets around the ball. If he backhands that, it takes a lot more time. He's saying right there, I had no play at second. I totally agree with him. Really good job of circling it. And from the time that ball hits the leather of his glove to when he gets it out is so quick. It makes up for what's kind of an average arm. He's so good with that internal clock.
And now Brant Bockham, 1 for 4. I think just one run for Mercer would feel significant.
Yes.
And we talked about it earlier, but when you give up a big crooked number, even if it's just one run, if you can get a response, that can be helpful, particularly this late in the game. One and one on Bockham. But going back to Kurse, the other part of that too, Dusty, is he's got to make the decision. That's how he's going to play it instantaneously, right? I mean, he's got to read that ball.
Yeah, he sees it off the bat. And good infielders, they're kind of counting hops in their mind, of how they get around it. What you don't want to do is get caught in between. So you either got to come get it right away or stay back. And he made a really good decision to come through that ball.
Bockham takes up and away, 2 and 1.
Just to tie off on that play, the other point that he makes look so easy is the footwork. You got to make sure you're locked into the right foot, and from the time you catch it, you want to be set up, almost preset, so you can throw against your body.
Foul tip.
Big pitch here for Spivey. Runner in scoring position. You have that base open. You don't necessarily want to put him on by any means, but you don't have to come in the strike zone right here in a 2-2 count.
One hopper out to Schmidt. They'll win the foot race. Stevens up to third, but now they're 2 down.
Yeah, this run, even though it's a 3-run game, Wiley, this runner on third does feel big, doesn't it, for both sides? Georgia Tech, I'm sure, feels like if they can keep the lead at 3 runs for Mercer, feel much better than trying to scratch 4 more, and vice versa for Mercer. If you can tack one on, every run is so valuable.
An intentional walk here to Kersey. We saw a similar, in fact, an identical situation in the first inning. 2 outs, runner at third. Kersey coming up. They intentionally walked him then and went on to get Dylan LaPointe to round out. By the way, just to wrap up that scene we saw in the bottom of the 7th with head coach James Ramsey getting so animated with third base umpire Craig Barron. There's a certain element of speculation to this, but we believe there might have been a ball that got loose from the Mercer bullpen. And that might have been the source of James Ramsey wanting that time call. But again, that's our best guess. I'm sure we'll have some answers after the game in the post-game press conference. Meanwhile, how about an in-game conference? There's head coach Craig Gibson talking things over with the offense. And I think Brant Bockham right there is talking about the at-bat he just had and the way the stuff moves.
Yeah, it's definitely a knowledge transfer. That's why you see Bockham in there, just trying to give him an idea of what he's going to see, the action on the pitches. Is there any tells, right? Is anything popping out of his hand, or is there anything preset? Any information you can pass off. We talked about it. This runner on third is so crucial.
It is Eli Stevens at third, Braden Kersey at first, and Dylan LaPointe at the plate. He is 0 for 4. Caden Spivey came on in the 6th. And he challenges LaPointe there. And Spivey has retired 7 of 9. And this is LaPointe's second at bat against Spivey. He was the first hitter Spivey faced. In the air, right field, Baker running. That ball slicing away from him, and it's foul territory, and Baker tumbles over the sidewall into the bullpen. Look out. And he's quickly to his feet, and it looks like there might be a smile. That's a good sign. Wow.
Yeah, these corners on both sides, they get really narrow really quick. You see how it juts in. There's not much space over there. This is a great look at it. I mean, you're going full speed. One eye on the ball, one eye on the fence, trying to pick it up. Sneaks up on you quick. Glad to see he's okay.
And knowing Will Baker's luck tonight, it'll be a ball hit right at him. This pitch.
Right
0-2 on the point, looking for another 2-strike, 2-out RBI. And now stepping off Spivey. Lifted again, this time back over and out of play. Anything jump out to you about how they're attacking LaPointe here?
Seems like they're staying firm. You know, I don't know if that's specific to LaPointe or if that's how the stuff's feeling for Spivey tonight. Way ahead here, though.
Way outside.
Maybe his best heater of the night, 94 on that one.
Reach back for a little extra. 1-2. Hard hit one hopper, knocked down by Zuckerman. Gathers to first in time. Great poise by Ryan Zuckerman and Caden Spivey. The Yellow Jackets get the 0 they were desperate for. And now back to the bats. Hot as a firecracker, his last at bat to lead off the bottom of the 7th. A solo bomb that was crushed right off the side of the roofing there at the Brock Center. And that kick-started a 5-run rally for the Yellow Jackets. White and gold hoping he can do the same thing again to start the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Brocious, followed by Curse and Burris, each chasing school records in doubles and home runs respectively. But first, Brocious. Brocious, a liner right to Kamaka. On the button. But that is the first out.
And if you're Mercer, you don't care how they sound, how hard they are off the bat, you're trying to get 5 more. And that's a huge start to the inning. If that ball gets through, or you know, if you can let Brocious on, you turn this lineup over, these 3 runs can happen quickly.
And now Carson Curse, 27 doubles this year, has tied the single season record at Georgia Tech. First pitch, grounder, smoked to Bacham, but he's got it. 2 outs on 3 pitches.
That's big for Garnett. Grinded his way through last inning, made some pitches when he had to, got the big double play ball against Hernandez. To get 2 outs, albeit well squared up, you know, you'll take it. Only 3 pitches, it's huge.
And now Drew Burris could be his last at bat of the night. 57 career home runs, tying the Yellow Jacket record. He shows butt and pulls it back for a called strike. That one of those situations where he felt like he wasn't going to swing no matter what at the first pitch after 2 outs on 3 pitches?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's a good call. playing pretty deep on that left side.
0-1 is ripped down the left field line and foul. Oh, that was almost history.
Certainly had the length, didn't it?
Yeah, Drew Burress has asked for time. We'll talk things over with head coach James Ramsey. These two have been attached at the hip. It has been an organizational-wide effort for the Yellow Jackets, this rise over the last 3 years. But certainly there aren't two guys in that picture, or nobody more responsible than those two, I should say. I mean, again, it's a lot of big pieces involved that have created this special team, but those two in particular seem to be the faces you think of.
It feels like they're tied together, doesn't it?
0-2 on Drew Burress. On the doorstep of history. Junior graduated from Georgia Tech just this past weekend. And he strikes out swinging. Andrew Garnett, boisterous off the mound. Drew Burress didn't like it. We go to the ninth. It is still a 3-run ball game. Mercer trying to take down number 3. And how about Andrew Garnett? That was a fuzz-off fastball. Well, there's the history for the Mercer Bears knocking off top 25 opponents under coach Craig Gibson now in his 23rd season. I should say top 25 Georgia Tech teams. They did it 4 times in a 4-year span.
Yeah. I mean, they got a great program. And unfortunately, I make up four of those 5 of teams that I was on.
That was your career right there.
Hey, we were consistently ranked top 25. I don't know what to tell you.
There it is. There it is. That's a good Mercer's team.
Get that graphic off there.
Yep. Oh my! All right, top of the 9th inning. Ethan Buffon, the freshman, will lead off against Caden Gaudet. And I was having a conversation with some folks down in the Tech dugout earlier today. But when you consider that Caden Gaudet, who has been one of the highest leverage relievers in the Georgia Tech pen, and also Carson Ballard, who has turned into a weekend starter for the Jackets these last few weeks. Those guys are both juniors, but that's because they were cut from the team as freshmen.
Isn't that crazy?
And now they are 2 of the most prized valuable arms on this Georgia Tech pitching staff that is in the top half of the ACC in ERA on the number 3 team in the country. It's incredible.
Yeah, big credit to Matt Taylor and staff, and also credit to the guys. I think both of them, if if you've been around the program, you've seen the development and the improvement, stuff-wise, makeup-wise. I mean, God, especially, he's at the point now where he's pretty much a power back-end arm. Slider in the upper 80s, fastball's been low to mid-90s.
Shot foul.
And they trust him. You know, anytime it's up 3, down 3 in the back end, he's right in the middle of the action.
Swing and a miss. Got him on the slider.
That's that slider we were just talking about. 87 mile an hour, nearly 2,600 RPMs, and he throws that pitch with such confidence now. It's so tight. Really nice shape. That's a true power slider right there.
Another double-digit strikeout game for Yellow Jacket pitching. On pace to set a school record in strikeouts per 9 as a staff this year. Graziano takes a called strike. Wave and a miss. And Gaudette manipulating the shape there a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a really good feel for it tonight. We've seen some bigger, some shorter and tighter. The one he struck out Buffon on was that short, tight, almost cutter action. That one a little bit bigger, swervier.
That's how Graziano lays off it. Strike 3 called. Through the front door. Have a seat, Michael Graziano.
Going back to the slider here. This one freezes him. He starts it at the front hip. Backs up a little bit, but does enough to catch that inside corner.
Now the top of the order, Logan Shepard, who has reached base in 3 of his 5 trips. For Georgia Tech in the bottom of the 9th, they will have the heart of the order. Jared Vincula, Vaughn Lackey, and Will Baker. Caden Gaudette trying to get them back into the dugout. 0-2.
What do you think he's throwing here, Wiley?
I think he likes that slider.
I think so too. Steady diet. Like I said, he's got that really good feel for the release point.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Justin Whitten making the call from behind the plate. Caden Gaudette strikes out the side. A slider fest. It's a 3-run deficit. Heart of the order coming up for the Yellow Jackets. Is there some more McNeese magic? Baseball Park. Mercer trying to outrun the Bear. They're 3 outs away from being home free. At the top of the zone, a called strike. Here's what the heart of the order has done tonight for the Yellow Jackets. That'll play. Oh, 2 on the ACC's leader in hits, the nation's leader in hits with 93.
And ever since Garnett rolled that double play ball in the 7th, he's been a different guy out there. It just seems to have really ignited him with some confidence. He's back on the attack. His stuff's back in the zone. Trying to get 3 more outs.
The other part of being a different guy out there is he hasn't been out there that much, through just 7 pitches in the 8th. And he carves up Advincula, a strikeout to begin the bottom of the 9th.
And again, works himself into an advantage count, 0-2. A challenge fastball, middle, has some good sink to it, running arm side a little bit. And that's a tough guy to strike out right there in Jared Advincula.
That is now 5 in a row retired from Garnett. Lackey takes high ball 1. And the formula for Georgia Tech is simple. Get the time running the plate. That's the whole goal. Georgia Tech will hit the road this weekend, going to Boston College, and then the ACC tournament will begin. Georgia Tech has already secured a double bye into the quarterfinals of the conference tournament. One zipped foul on the ground. For ACC regular season title, Georgia Tech has a 2-game lead over North Carolina with 3 to play. Now the Heels do have the tiebreaker, so Georgia Tech would have to finish at least 1 game ahead of UNC. 1-2. And that's all that's left for Georgia Tech until Selection Monday. Mercer, on the other hand, they will hit the road at East Tennessee State to wrap up their regular season, tied with Western Carolina. Ooh, Garnett thought he had called strike 3. Instead, it's a full count.
He wanted that one. Might have been off. Really good pitch. Better take by Von Lackey right there.
And he's earned a payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased it. Back-to-back strikeouts for Garnett here in the 9th.
I think that's a slider right there. A little bit firmer than what we've seen from Garnett tonight at 86 mile an hour. Starts it on the what appears to be the outside corner. Then it just takes off. Good hard slider.
It's up to Will Baker to keep this game going. But for Mercer, part of the first 4 out entering today, according to D1Baseball.com. Will Baker lifts the ball into center, playable for Graziano, and the Mercer Bears have a signature win on the road and have bolstered their NCAA tournament resume considerably. In less than 2 weeks, if Mercer does hear their name called, they can look back at tonight as a big reason why.
100%. 100%. And then we talked about it in the early parts of tonight. I think head coach Craig Gibson was wanting to keep this game just as important as the one before it or the one after it. In all reality, as you mentioned, that's a signature win. Coming into Georgia Tech and really handling them over the course of 9 innings. Georgia Tech tried to scrap its way back, but Mercer did enough through the 9 innings to secure a big win.
So the Mercer Bears, their first win at Georgia Tech since 2018, as they take down another top 25 Yellow Jacket team under head coach Craig Gibson. Regular season closes out this weekend, but that'll close out the year in the regular season at McNeese Ballpark. Mercer, behind a 12-run onslaught, they hang on for dear life towards the end, but they pick up the road win. 12-9 the final score. Big thanks to our entire crew for this entire season of Yellow Jacket Baseball here in Midtown Atlanta. Tanner Phipps, our producer, Arthur Kyer, director. For Dusty Isaacs and so many others who called games this year, I'm Wiley Ballard saying so long and good night.